Testing 1, 2. Test, test. Pretty low. Testing, testing. Check, check. Okay. I'm not hearing anything. Any feedback? Okay.
BIGO Tires of Evanston presents Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watching online at kadqradio.com. Today's game is brought to you by these Rebel supporting businesses and individuals. Cowboy Motor Company, save a horse, buy from Cowboy. BIGO Tires, the team you trust. Castle Rock Chevrolet, we are Chevrolet. Wyoming Dental Specialists and Rocky Mountain Care, simply the best care. Pre-game Coaches Show is brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. Kickoffs are brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. First Downs today brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental, Dr. Sean Grohl. Turnover sponsor is the station in Randolph, and our scoreboard sponsor, You Win a Title. Now it's time for a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Rich High School, the home of the Rich Rebels, and to the Rebel pregame show here on KADQ FM 98.3. It's a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football here on KADQ, and you can watch the game online at kadqradio.com. Today, the Rich High Rebels are taking on the Milford Tigers here at Rich High School, and kickoff is scheduled for about 34 minutes from now. In the meantime, we have our pregame show here on KADQ, and we're looking ahead to today's matchup. In this segment of the pregame show, we'll let you know how we see things, and we'll set the scene for today's game. It's a nice sunny afternoon here in Randolph, and honestly, it couldn't get much better than it is right now. I hope I don't curse us, and some clouds may start rolling in after I say that, but it's clear skies, sunny and warm, but it's not hot. I'd say about 72, 73 degrees. You really can't ask for a better afternoon for fall football anywhere. It's a beautiful setting here at Rich High School. We've got the mountains off to our east side. We're facing we're sitting on the west side of the field, facing east, and I see the Milford Tigers out on the field warming up right now, running different drills on the right side. If you're looking at the streaming online at kadqradio.com, you see that video of the Milford Tigers down there warming up. They're in red and white. And Rich Rebels, they were out here a little bit earlier. They're in the locker room right now getting ready to come out. They'll come out and start their warm-ups before too long. I'm sure we'll see some fans start to crowd in here before long as well on this Friday afternoon. Now, this is a big game for both teams, really, as they open region play today. Rich High Rebels coach Ashley Brown considers that the season is broken into three parts. There's season one, which is the preseason, and the Rebels finished that last week with that victory over the Mountain Crest Mustang JV team, a final score of 40 37-20 rather in that one. And Rich went 2-1 in the preseason, season number 1 for Coach Brown. Season number 2 starts here today, this afternoon, hosting the Milford Tigers. It's region play, and the games really start to matter at this point in the season. Now, as I mentioned, the Rebels come in at 2-1. With that win last week over Mountain Crest, they lost the week before to the West Side Pirates, and a game that was here at Rich High School, 41-28 was the final there. The week before was the season opener that Rich won at Summit Academy, 20-6. Now the Milford Tigers come in at 1-3, 1 win, 3 losses. They opened the season with a loss against Parowan, 30-14. The week after that, they traveled and played against White Pine, Nevada, and Milford really took care of business. So this is a Milford team that can score the football. They had 50 points in that game against White Pine, Nevada in the 50-16 victory. The next week, they lost at Altamont, 32-8. So that was a tough loss for them in region play. Last week against the undefeated and I think 38 straight wins and counting now, Duchesne. The Milford Tigers lost to Duchesne 40-0. But as we'll hear from Coach Brian Williamson a little bit later on here in our pregame, he feels like it was a much closer game than that 40-0 score would indicate. Well, that's where we are here today as we get started or get ready to get started. It's a big one for the Tigers. It's also a big one for the Rebels, of course, as they start region play here this afternoon. Well, today, again, the Rebels taking on the Milford Tigers, and it's a big one. It's been the scene set for today's matchup. We're about 30 minutes away now from the opening kickoff between the Rebels and the Milford Tigers. So coming up, we'll check with students and community members about their predictions for this afternoon's game. We'll be right back here on the pregame show with our Rebel Game Day predictions. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online live at KADQradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic, gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity, the Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
BIGO Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at BIGO.
BIGO Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Bad credit? No credit? No problem. See Castle Rock Chevrolet for the marginal credit sale this weekend. At Castle Rock, we understand how essential owning a vehicle you can count on really is. So we don't care what your credit score is. Come into Castle Rock Chevrolet this weekend and we'll do everything we can to help you into the vehicle that you want and need.
We're Castle Rock.
Bad credit? No credit. No problem. Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston.
Welcome back to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football here on KADQ and online at KADQradio.com. And we spent some time in Rich County and at the Rich schools this last week talking with Rich fans about their predictions for today's game. On this segment of the pregame show, we'll hear as the fans give their Rebel game day predictions.
Hey, my name's Reagan Lloyd, and I think Rich is going to beat Milford by 21.
Hi, this is Danielle Hoffner. I think Rich is going to win, and I have no idea the score.
Hi, this is Whitley, and I think Rich is going to win by 14.
This is Cammie, and I think it's going to be 42-6, Rich.
This is Leanne, and I think it's going to be Rich will win by 28. This is Katie, and I think Rich will win by 7. This is Heather, and I think Rich will win by 14. This is Sammy Cook, and I think Rich will win by 8.
This is Christina, and I think that Rich will win. I'm not sure about a score, but...
This is Zoe, and I think Rich will win by 7.
This is Emily, and I think Rich will beat him by a lot.
This is Rachel, and I think Rich will win by 14.
This is Andy, and I think Rich will win by 21.
This is Ellen Peer, and I think Rich will kick butt.
This is Millie Weston, and I think Rich will win by 21.
This is Lily, and I think Rich will win by 12.
This is Haley, and I think Rich will win by 28.
This is Michaela, and I think Rich will win by 21.
Well, the fans have spoken. This was our Rebel Game Day predictions, and coming up, we're going to be talking with a Rebel alum to see what's been happening since graduation. We'll be back with Where Are They Now on the pregame show. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM. Watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich, inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on KADQ. Today, the Rebels are taking on the Milford Tigers, and we're about 23 minutes away from our opening kickoff. In this segment of the pregame show, we're going to catch up with Rebel alum Julie Johnson. Julie graduated from Rich High School in 1988. This portion of the pregame show is called Where Are They Now? Welcome to Where Are They Now? This is Ryan Steinecker talking today with Julie Johnson, Rich High School graduate from 1988. And Julie, how are things going for you these days?
They're going well. I live here in Salt Lake City now and have for quite a few years.
I really appreciate you taking your time to join us for Where Are They Now today. And tell me, living in Salt Lake City, you moved on to away from the small Rich County, you moved on to the big city. How do you deal with the traffic there on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, we do have a lot of traffic. I-15 can be a nightmare. Any of the roads, actually, if there's an accident, can be really bad. I luckily have some flexibility in my schedule, and I can come in a little bit later than when the commute times are.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your days at Rich High School. You played volleyball, and I understand you were pretty good.
Yes.
Be humble now. Come on. You made All-State your senior year?
I did.
So tell me about your season a little bit. What did you do that set you apart and earned you that honor of All-State?
Well, the coaches from all the teams get together and vote on who they thought had the best performances or the best players during the state tournament, and so that's how that came to be.
Now, was Cindy Stewart coaching at that time? Was that when she was just starting about then?
She was. She came my sophomore year, so I had her for the 3 years.
Now, if you earned All-State at the state tournament, that means the team must have done fairly well at that tournament. Can you remember just what happened?
I remember that we got beat by Enterprise, and I don't recall who won that year, but I think we got 4th or 5th, but I don't remember exactly. Which is ironic because when I went to college, my first year in college, my very first roommate in Cedar City was from Enterprise, and she had been playing on that team.
The team that beat you?
Yes. And we ended up being best friends, so it was pretty funny.
That is funny. Are there other memories about playing volleyball in high school that you can think back on with, I don't know, with fondness, or that you remember often?
We had a really good team. Everybody got along really well, and the bus trips were always fun. We had a great bus driver, Randy Cornea, and yeah, we all really liked Cindy. She was really a big step from the previous coach, a big step up, and she really threw herself into it. And we did summer camps and summer training. with a coach from BYU that would come up. And, you know, she just really brought the program to a much higher level and it made it fun.
It sounds like you were a big part of moving that program to a new level. Well, really, though, I mean, if to be honored All-State, I mean, that's a big honor.
I suppose.
You're being humble, Julie. Tell me, what else were you involved in high school? The drill team, things like that?
Yes, I was involved in drill team and honor society. I was senior class secretary. Just, you know, we were all just involved in a lot of sports. A lot of activities revolved around the school.
What have you done since high school?
I went to Southern Utah University in Cedar for my first year, and then I transferred up to the University of Utah. Go Utes this weekend! And I graduated from the U. And, yeah, I graduated from school. I started working with juvenile delinquents. I initially was a marketing major in college at the U, but I took a social deviance class, and I was hooked. So I graduated in psychology with an emphasis in criminology, and I started working with juvenile probation, and then I had an opportunity to move to Logan. I went up there for a couple of years. The juvenile system up there was not very big at the time, and I ended up finding a job with the Cache County Sheriff's Office, which then put me through post and started my law enforcement career. I then came back to Salt Lake and worked for the Salt Lake City Police Department for about 10 years, and now I am a probation officer with Criminal Justice Services here in the city.
And how about family? Do you have a husband, kids, anything like that?
Yes, I'm married. I have a daughter in middle school now, and like I said, we live in Sandy.
Does she play volleyball?
She doesn't yet. They don't offer it, unfortunately, in middle schools, but she will start playing. She's very interested in playing in high school. She does soccer and cross country and swimming right now. So she's very athletic, very into sports. She loves it. So I'm excited to watch her play.
And have you continued to follow Rich High School and what they've done in athletics or in any other aspect?
I have. I still have, my parents still live up there, and I have siblings up there, and their children, my nieces and nephews, have all gone through the junior high and high school up there, and so I've been to games and stay involved in how well they're doing.
Well, Julie, thank you for joining us on Where Are They Now, and it sounds like things are going well for you. I'm glad to hear that, and good luck on into the future.
Thank you.
Well, thanks to Julie Johnson for joining us here on Where Are They Now. Next up, we'll visit with the coaches of today's teams on the Ashley Brown Pregame Coaches Show, sponsored by the Mound Valley Cattle Company. Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. You're listening to the Rebel Pregame Show on a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High School Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
BIGO Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at BIGO.
BIGO Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Bad credit? No credit? No problem. See Castle Rock Chevrolet for the marginal credit sale this weekend. At Castle Rock, we understand how essential owning a vehicle you can count on really is. So we don't care what your credit score is. Come into Castle Rock Chevrolet this weekend, and we'll do everything we can to help you into the vehicle that you want and need.
We're Castle Rock.
Bad credit? No credit. No problem. Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston.
You're listening to Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3. This is Rebels coach Ashley Brown on the Pregame Coaches Show, and we're just 20 minutes away from kickoff here on KADQ.
Welcome to the Coach Ashley Brown pregame show, brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company. Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. No one sees the game the way the coaches do, so we'll take a few minutes to visit with opposing coach Brian Williamson of the Milford Tigers, and then we'll talk with Rebel head coach Ashley Brown and get his thoughts on today's game. We'll be right back after this from Mound Valley Cattle Company. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and you can watch online at KADQradio.com.
A well-rounded education is one of the keys to success in life. Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company, are cheering for all the students at Rich High School this year. When it comes to buying or selling cattle, the experts at Mound Valley Cattle Company will get it done. Serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming, Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho. Call 208-339-0614. That's 208-339-0614.
Well, I'm here with Milford Tigers head coach Brian Williamson. And, Coach, thanks for joining me here on the pregame show today. Tell me about what you've got coming back from last year and how the team's looking so far this year.
The great thing about my team is it's loaded with a bunch of juniors. And, you know, I've been with them since their freshman year, and they all started their freshman year. So it's been a work in progress to get them going, but with their experience they have now, it's going to be a good ride for us for the next 2 years. I only have 2 returning seniors, my quarterback and my center. So whenever we, start the next season, we're only going to lose 2 kids. So the experience that we have is just monumental. And we have a lot of kids coming up from the Little League programs that we started here in Milford and the flag football programs that we started here. And, we're on the right path of developing a program here in Milford, and I really see that it's going to start changing here soon.
So you're still fairly young, but you've got a lot of experience. Have you seen that translate into how the guys are playing on the field this season?
Oh, yeah. Our last game that we played against Duchesne, they're going against 4A schools, blowing them out, and we were able to hang with them the whole time. We weren't able to punch it in on the score, but it was just some mental mistakes that we had, and that's still the youth that has a lot to do with it. But, we were able to drive on them, stop them on defense, do things that we could have never done in the past when they were freshmen and sophomores. So looking at that, you can really see the progression is really starting to come apart.
So you're in your 4th year of head coaching there at Milford, and it sounds like you've got the program kind of rolling in the right direction.
It's taken a while. Our first 2 years we had to compete with baseball. We had baseball in the fall, and that can really eliminate your practice schedule dramatically. And then last year I had 13 kids, and they basically were all sophomores, and they're all returning this year. And we had a lot of injuries. The one thing you face in 1A, if you lose 1 kid, you're losing 2 because they play both sides. They're Ironman football. And, we started the season last year with 32 kids, and we lost almost half of them to injury. And, with the programs that we've started with BFS and our stretching and flexibility programs we do in the off season, our injuries are much less this year than they ever been. So, it's starting to move forward.
Well, that's really good. Now, coming up this afternoon, you're here at Rich in Randolph, and honestly, it's been a few years since Milford has beat Rich.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been 13 years since we actually won our first playoff game, and that's one of our major goals is to get through the North, because we are in the North region now, and there's competition up north is probably by far a lot more competitive than it is down south. So moving up north was a blessing and also a curse. But if you can get through the curse, and it does become a blessing quite quickly, because if you can beat those top teams up north, then you're going to go pretty far in the playoffs. And that's our goal, is we really want to go far in the playoffs this year. And next year, if we put it all together, then, the skies are the limit.
Now, what do you do this week to prepare for the Rich Rebels?
Well, in the normal case scenario, we would practice a lot of scenarios that would stop their option and then make sure you stop their quarterback, which is a very proficient, player. His mesh points with his fullback are very good, and his pitch relationship is just awesome. And it's just, you can tell that the coaching is very good there. Unfortunately for us, this week is we've battled the flu. So we've had a lot of kids out for the flu, and a lot of my starters. So, our practices consisted on focusing on the younger kids that we have and hoping that the experience that my older kids that are out with the flu will carry over whenever they come up there and take on Reg.
What do you feel like your keys are for today's game, Coach?
Stopping the option. If we can stop the option and make sure the dive is not there for him on the leads, then I think we can shut down the middle game. I would like to see, Rich pass. If Rich has any kind of weakness, I think it might be the pass. And if we can focus on stopping their run game and their option game, it's going to make our lives a lot easier.
Well, Coach, thanks again for joining me. Good luck this afternoon here at Rich High School.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate the time.
That was head coach Brian Williamson of the Milford Tigers. And we're about 15 minutes away from kickoff and today's action. You're listening to the Coach Ashley Brown Pregame Coaches Show, brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company here on the Pregame Show. Stay tuned. We'll visit with head coach Ashley Brown in just a moment. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Welcome back to the
long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth or want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is endodontist Les Walker inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Welcome back to the pregame show here on KADQ. We're in the middle of the coach's pregame show, brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company. We'll be back with Rebel head coach Ashley Brown right after this.
A well-rounded education is one of the keys to success in life. Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company, are cheering for all the students at Rich High School this year. When it comes to buying or selling cattle, the experts at Mound Valley Cattle Company will get it done. Serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming, Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho. Call 208-339-0614. That's 208-339-0614.
Coach, well, let's talk about that Saturday afternoon win at Mountain Crest. How did you feel about the game overall?
I thought it was a very good end to our preseason. We kind of got out strong again and then kind of let up, and we had to learn that we had to keep battling in order to win the game, and that's what happened.
What made the difference to keep battling and get the win rather than kind of what we saw against Westside the week before?
I think our kids learned a lot from Westside, knowing that if you don't play a full game, you're probably not going to win, and somehow they just got something down. They dug down deep inside and were able to get the momentum back, and luckily we got the win.
I thought the defense. I mean, there were lapses, but for the most part, looked pretty solid.
Yeah, the big thing we pushed last week was being consistent on both sides of the ball, and we still struggled with that a little bit. We still weren't consistent enough throughout the full game, but our defense did play well, and we had some kids step up when some kids got injured, and they did play well.
How'd you feel about the play of your offensive line?
I thought we did a better job of blocking throughout the game. We had guys going to the right guys more than we had the week before, and we worked really hard on staying with guys until the whistle, and I thought we did a little better job with that.
That's something you focused on a lot in practice?
Yep. That's something that if you can get kids to do it, you become much better blockers, and instead of getting 5-yard gains now, you're able to get bigger gains.
You saw that a few times. You had some big runs in the game for touchdowns.
Yeah, and I think that was a big part of it. We had kids getting to the next level and staying with those blocks until the whistle.
We saw Joseph Layson get a couple carries, and he broke that one loose at the end of the game. I know you were trying to just run out the clock, but you'll take the touchdown, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a good run. You know, he popped through there, and then they weren't able to catch him. So it was a good run for him and for our team.
And how about I think we talked about it after the game on Saturday, but had some good performances. Ben Grohl had a couple big runs, and that one particular that sticks out in my mind was, I think, an 8 or 9 yard touchdown run where he broke tackles and spinned away from guys, and what an effort.
Yeah, it was a great effort. You know, we didn't do a great job of blocking on that play. It was mostly just him, and he, like you say, he broke 3 or 4 tackles and found the end zone, and it was a great run.
Now, how do you feel like the guys are running the offense? I mean, you talk about working on blocking and blocking the guys they're supposed to block. Overall, how do you feel like they're doing, making reads and running the, being where they should be and things like that?
You know, we definitely have to get better, but we're doing better than we did the week before. Our backs still need to block a little better and get to the guys that they need to block. But, you know, with the offense we run, we need 9 guys blocking on certain plays, and they're getting better at it.
Now, what about Milford this week? It's a kind of a new season. Isn't that your philosophy?
Yep. Yeah, we try to divide our seasons into 3, our preseason, our regular season, and then the postseason. And this is the start of our regular season. So, you know, it's a big game, and our kids will be excited for it.
What's the history been between Milford and Rich?
You know, we've won the last few. I'm not sure the exact number, but they've had some young teams in the past few years, and they're young this year. So, you know, we expect them to play hard and do some things that, you know, that we need to be prepared for. But, you know, if we play well, we should be okay.
Is there any kind of tendency to look ahead a week or two and think about Duchesne?
Oh yeah, you always look ahead. You know, you can't really do much about it, but you always see what they did the week before and how they've been doing. And you know, we got some big games before we reach Duchesne, but obviously you do look ahead a little.
So Milford, what are your keys for Friday's game?
You know, we just want to be better than we were against Mountain Crest in executing and blocking and all of that stuff. So that's what we'll be looking for in our kids.
Well, good luck this week against Milford, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
This has been the Coach's Pregame Show, brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company. We're about 5 minutes from today's kickoff, and you're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 FM. Watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Bad credit? No credit? No problem. See Castle Rock Chevrolet for the marginal credit sale this weekend. At Castle Rock, we understand how essential owning a vehicle you can count on really is. So we don't care what your credit score is. Come into Castle Rock Chevrolet this weekend, and we'll do everything we can to help you into the vehicle that you want and need.
We're Castle Rock.
Bad credit? No credit. No problem. Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
BIGO Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business, a customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at BIGO.
BIGO Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
You've been listening to the Rich High Rebel Football pregame show here on KADQ. We're just moments away from opening kickoff, the starting lineups, and coin toss. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3, and you can watch the game online live at KADQradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Welcome back to Rich High School, where the Rebels today are hosting the Milford Tigers, and we're just moments away from today's kickoff. Milford won the toss, and what did we see? Who will receive? Rebels will receive to start this one off here today. And you've been listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High School Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3. And you can watch online at KADQradio.com. We're just moments away from the opening kickoff here in this one. And kickoffs today will be brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. So let's get you the starting lineups for today's game, and we'll go with the Rich High Rebel defense. Up on the front line, defensive front line, the defensive ends are number 3, McKay Jarman, and number 84, Skylar Argyle. Defensive linemen are number 9. Actually, that's let me correct that. That's number 54, Dakota Clark. And other defensive lineman, number 64, Isaac Hopkin. Linebackers are number 5, Cash Saby, number 21, Chalice Myers, 23, Ben Grohl, and number 34, Mitch Jarman. Defensive backs are number 8, Jaden Wallentine, number 80, Vance Weston, and number 25, Joseph Leifson. For the visiting Milford Tigers, starting offense will be number 12, quarterback is Jalen Hardy. Running backs are number 14, Peyton Hardy, number 24, Wade Netto, and number 30, Trevor Robinson. Wide receiver, we have number 5, Nathan Barnes. Tight end is 33, Caden Noyes. And on the other side, the tight end, number 11, Carter Hardy. Offensive linemen are number 54, Dade Carter, number 56, Colbin Henry, number 64, Coulter Wright, 65, Kincaid Partridge, and number 69, Lucas O'Daniel. Those are your starting lineups here for today's game. And as I mentioned, we're just moments away. You see the teams lining up now here on the sidelines. If you're watching at KADQradio.com, you can tune in and watch the game live right there at KADQradio.com. Milford Tigers here at Rich High School here today, and this is one that really matters. We're getting into region play for these two teams, and actually Milford has played a couple of games in the region. They lost at Altamont 2 weeks ago. They lost against Duchesne last week. And taking a look back at what these teams have done against each other over the last 20 years or so, they've played most of those seasons. And Rich, they've played 12 years going back to 1985. And Rebels have 10 wins. Milford has 2 wins. We have the presentation of the colors now. Rich cheerleaders coming out.
Will you please join in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
There's the presentation of our colors. Now, taking a look back at what these two teams have done against each other the last few years, Rich won the last 4 matchups by at least 40 points almost. Last year, 46-6. The year before, 42-0. Actually, in 2010 and 2011, Rich won 42-0. In 2009, it was a little bit closer, 43-7. Not quite 40-point victory in that one. And that's how the scores go until you go back to 1994 was the last time Milford beat Rich 18-7, and the year before that they shut out the Rebels 26-0. Rich won the year before that in '92, 41-30, and so this is a team that Rich really has had their way with over the last about, what's that, 18 years, going back to 1994 was the last time that Milford was able to beat Rich. So that's what we've got here coming up today. It's a beautiful, sunny afternoon. You couldn't ask for a better afternoon for football. Highs in the low 70s right now, and we've got the real turf. Unlike last Saturday, we had highs there in the low 70s at Mountain Crest, but with that artificial turf that kind of draws in the heat and radiates it out on the players. This is real turf. This is a little more real temperature. You get the air temperature, and that's what you get on the field as well. Back to receive deep is Joseph Lason and Cash Saby, and our kickoff here moments away, brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Opening kickoff just moments away. If you're watching at KADQ online, KADQradio.com, you'll see the Rebels in blue and white, the Tigers in red and white. The kickoff from south to north, received by Chalice Myers. Not much room to go across the 30-yard line and out near the 35. He'll be brought down, and that's where the Rebels will start. 1st and 10 to start this game off. 11:54 left, first quarter. No score on the Untitled scoreboard as we've just had that opening kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff.
35-yard line where it'll be first down.
So Rebels from their own 35. 1st and 10. And they'll come out with Ben Grohl in the backfield. Jarman up under center. And going in motion is Saby. Saby will get the handoff going up the middle. Breaks a tackle, breaks another one to 40, to the 45. Dragging guys across midfield to the 49-yard line. And it's a 16-yard gain for Cash Saby, showing his strength there. And that'll give the Rebels a first down. Brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And that's the way the Rebels wanted to start things out. Saby got a great hole up the middle, and then he did some extra work breaking tackles and dragging another guy probably 3 or 4 yards to get across midfield and into Tiger territory. And now we have a quick whistle as they realize the tee for the kickoff hadn't been thrown off the field yet. So we'll stop play for just a moment to get that off the field, and now the Rebels ready to go. Grohl and Saby in the backfield. Jarman rolling out here to this near side to his right. Throws out toward the flat and throws just long, intended for Jaden Wallentine, and it falls incomplete. Coach Williamson of the Milford Tigers said he wanted to force the Rebels to throw. He feels like if the Rebels have one weakness on offense, it's their passing game. And we see an incompletion there on first down. We'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for Rich High. Tigers out in defense. They've got 2 safeties way back deep, of almost 15, maybe almost 20 yards off the line of scrimmage, 18 yards back there. Jarman takes the snap, give up the middle. No, he'll keep it himself. A little bit of room to run, fakes the pitch. Now he's going to run, fakes another late pitch, wrapped up about the 41-yard line. He's close to a first down. He'll be about 1.5 yards short, but a nice run by Jarman. And it'll be 3rd down and short for the Rebels. And that's what they needed on that 2nd down. It was 2nd and 10. They pick up about 8. And now it's 3rd and short for the Rebels. Well, if you're watching online, you see the Rebels moving north to south. That's left to right from my view here at Rich High School. Rebels come out with Bartolome here to the near side. 3 backs in the backfield. Jarman, long, hard count, and the Tigers jump. Flag flies. We're going to have an offside penalty, and that will give the Rebels an easy first down. And we see Coach Brown, he likes to do that on when he gets a 3rd and short, 3rd and less than 5, try to get that encroachment. And happens this time. Now the Rebels will just line right up and run the same play they were planning to run anyway. So lined up at the 36-yard line, 1st and 10, first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental. Give to Myers up the middle. Big hole. He cuts to the outside of the 25, fumbles the ball at the 20, but I think the referee is going to say that he was down. And the Rebels will keep the ball. It'll be first down right around the 20-yard line. And a big gain for Myers of 16 yards. We've seen 2 runs of 16 yards, one by Myers just then, and then one earlier by Cash Saby. And it's 1st and 10 for the Rebels. A first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Wallentine and Myers out to the far side. Split out there, Saby and Grohl in the backfield. Here's the snap. Jarman rolling out to his left, looking to throw. Throwing out there, he's got Wallentine rather. Wallentine cuts to the inside and gets close to the goal line. A nice gain down to about the 2. It's going to be about 18 yards, depending on just exactly where they mark it down. But a nice passing catch from Jarman to Wallentine, and a 1st and goal for the Rebels on the 4-yard line. 16 yards on the passing catch. 18 yards. First down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Grohl in the backfield, Saby behind him. Saby gets the handoff, and he goes into the end zone almost untouched. He kind of skipped through the line, and the Rebels are on the board with a 6-0 lead on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels strike first and lead 6-0. Made it look a little bit too easy on that first drive. And the Rebels will come out looking like they're going to attempt the extra point. So a 2-yard touchdown run. And now here's the extra point attempt. The kick is up, and it is good by Joseph Leifson. And the Rebels lead 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard with 9:32 left, first quarter. Rebels made it look pretty easy. Well, you're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
A well-rounded education is one of the keys to success in life. Eddie and Todd Jensen, owners of Mound Valley Cattle Company, are cheering for all the students at Rich High School this year. When it comes to buying or selling cattle, the experts at Mound Valley Cattle Company will get it done. Serving Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho. Call 208-339.
Extra point kicked in. Made it 7-0, and the Rebels up early on the Untitled scoreboard, 7-0 with 9:32 left here, first quarter. And the Rebels will line up to kick it off here from the north side 40-yard line. And so that's the way the Rebels wanted to start things off. Obviously not the way the Tigers wanted to start it off. And some of that Rebel experience showing there. They were really able to open up some nice big holes and complete that pass that helped move the football. Leifson's kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. It's bobbled and misplayed, and it bounces back into the end zone for a touchback. So the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. That drive by the Rebels, 6 plays, 65 yards. 2.5 minutes off the clock. And the Rebels lead 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. Tigers on the south side of the field, moving south to north. That's right to left from our view. And it's 1st and 10 for the Tigers. They've spread things out, shotgun formation, kind of a pistol formation, almost. Handoff up the middle, room to run, breaking a tackle out across the 30 to the 35, breaking another tackle. Finally, Grohl brings him down at about the 44. Big carry by Caden Noyes, a gain of 24 yards, breaking tackles, and a big gain. Not something we're accustomed to against this Rebel defense. A 25-yard gain is where they'll mark it. It's out to the 45-yard line. Noyes again back deep, about 4 yards behind his quarterback, Jalen Hardy. Here's the snap, give to Noyes again. Looks like the same play, going to the right side. Lots of room, great blocking across the 40. Inside the 35, he's finally brought down at about the 33, 32-yard line. And that's another 23. We'll see where they spot it. 21 yards on that carry. Noyes with 2 carries, and he's approaching 50 yards on the ground. And the Tigers moving the football. We'll see if they come up with something different on this play. It's been almost that same play to that far side. Here's the snap, give to Noyes coming this side, and this time to some penetration in the backfield, and Noyes will be slowed down and then wrapped up and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. This time, the Rebels able to do their job and hold them to no gain on first down. And it'll be 2nd and 10 with 8:44 left, first quarter. Rebels lead 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. Hardy in the backfield. He's got split backs and then Noyes about 4 yards behind him. Here's the snap, fake to Noyes, coming this side. He'll hand off, no room to run, and a big hit on Wade Neto. Ben Grohl and who else was in there? Isaac Hopkin getting up after that tackle as well for the Rebels. So no gain for Neto, and it's 3rd and just under 10 yards. That first run by Noyes actually netted about maybe a third of a yard is all. Same formation with the split backs. Noyes back behind his quarterback. Here's the snap option play for Hardy. Skips through one tackle and almost gets away, but will be wrapped up and brought down about the 32. A gain of a couple as Hopkins in there on the tackle, and it'll bring up 4th down and a long 7 from the Rebel 32-yard line. With 7:40 left here, first quarter, Rebels lead 7-0 on the win-a-title scoreboard. Rebels able to put together a real nice drive that first possession. They've had a little trouble stopping the Tigers as they'll spread it out. Just 4 linemen up on the front line. And looks like they're going to line up for a punt here. Hardy kicks it away and trying to find that corner. He kicks it toward that far sideline and looks pretty good. Let's see where they mark it. It bounced out of bounds. And the official down there about the 8-yard line. So inside the 10, it looks like, where they're gonna mark it to. And what a nice punt by Hardy, pinning the Rebels back deep in their own territory. Rebels 1st and 10 from their own 8-yard line, just outside the 8, it looks like. Or just inside the 8. I'm having got a player blocking my view, so I can't tell exactly. But Rebels 1st and 10 from inside their own 10. 7:18 left here, first quarter. Rebels leading 7-0 on the win-a-title scoreboard. Grohl and Sabi in the backfield. Here's the snap. Give to Grohl up the middle. Breaks one tackle. Wrapped up. Still on his feet somehow. Trying to fight for more yards, but he's not going to get anywhere. He got out to the 9, and a gain of about a yard is all before he was wrapped up, and his forward progression was stopped, and they blow the whistles. So Grohl with a gain of just 1 on the play. And Coach Williamson said that's one of the things they really want to focus on is shutting down that dive up the middle. He knows what a dangerous runner Grohl can be, and they don't want to give him any room to run up the middle, and they certainly didn't on that 1st down and 10. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 9 after a gain of just 1. Bartlome comes out here to this near side, out wide. Football right about in the middle of the field at the 9-yard line. Jarman up under center. Hard count, and we have some movement from the defense. And I think we're going to have another offside penalty against the Tigers. They're going to march off 5 yards and make 2nd down much more manageable for the Rich Rebels. A theme we've seen most of this season in the 3 games we've had so far, the Rebels real disciplined, not a lot of penalties against Rich High, and they've been almost 2-1 against their opposition. 2nd down and 4 for the Rebels. Jarman up under center. Chalice Myers coming in motion. He's going to get the handoff, and he's got lots of room to run across the 25. Oh, just tripped up at the 25, and he falls forward to about the 29. So a nice big gain for Myers. And
also number 3.
What's that, 15 yards for Chalice Myers on 2nd down. It's a 1st down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. 7-0 Rebels lead on the win-a-title scoreboard with under 6 to go in the first quarter. Myers here in the slot, and here's the snap. Give to the Leifson, the deep back. He'll break one tackle, trying to bounce outside. Can't get around the outside. Does pick up a couple to about the 31. And Leifson, give him 2 yards. Leifson broke one big late last week against Mountain Crest. Late in the game, the Rebels were just trying to run out the clock. He got a big hole up the middle and took it. It was 58 yards for a touchdown. He had 3 carries for 78 yards last week against Mountain Crest. 2nd down and 8 here for the Rebels. And 2 out here to the near side. Here's the snap. Jarman rolling out here to this side. Stops, looks to throw over the middle, and just through the hands of Caden Bartlome. As the defense came in, he was about to get sandwiched and didn't hold on to make the catch. That'll bring up 3rd and 8 for the Rebels. Good blocking out here as Jarman rolled out to the near side, and there was some defense coming in, but the blocking was good to give him that time he needed to make the throw. Just through the hands of Bartlome. Will bring up a 3rd down and 10. I was talking to Bartlome this week. Actually, we'll have him on our Students in the Classroom feature during our halftime show here today, and he says to just call him Bart. So I guess that makes my job a little easier. Bart's a lot easier than Bartlome. We got a timeout on the field. We'll take a quick one as well. The Untitled scoreboard has 7-0. Rebels with the lead, 5:09 left first quarter. And you're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Welcome back to Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ, and you can watch the game online. It's streaming live at kadqradio.com, and Rebels leading 7-0 first quarter on the Untitled scoreboard, 5:09 left in this first quarter. But Rich High facing a 3rd and long. It's 3rd and 8 from their own, just inside their own 31-yard line. They'll spread things out a bit with trips out to this near side. One man in the backfield. And Jarman, a hard count, a little bit of movement from the defense, but not into the neutral zone. Jarman coming out with the option. Late pitch for Grohl. Grohl trying to get through the defense, tries to split a couple defenders, gets a few yards out across the 45 to the 48, and the Rebels will be about a yard short, I believe, of the first down. It's close, but they are going to be about a yard short from what I can tell. We'll see just... the officials discussing here, and they say, let's roll the clock with 4:45 left first quarter. Rebels leading 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. It was a 6-yard carry for Grohl. And Rebels in the huddle on a 4th and 1 from their own 38-yard line, and not much hesitation. They're going to go for it here. Bartlome out wide to the far side, and Grohl in the backfield. Jarman keeps it himself. He's got the first down easily, as he just does the quarterback keeper, takes the snap, plants his foot, drives forward, and picks up 5 yards on a 4th and 1. And that's a play they've gone to on 4th down consistently this season, and it works for them right there. A first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And the Rebels move the chains and lead 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard with 4:12 left first quarter. Out to the far side goes Argyle. Leifson out there in tight. We got 4 receivers, and Leifson coming in motion toward the near side. Here's the snap. Leifson will get the handoff up the middle and run into a Tiger defender right at the 45-yard line. That's number 24, Wade Neto, who made the tackle. And so Leifson picks up a few. We'll give him 3 yards. It's a short 3 out close to the 46-yard line. And we'll bring up a 2nd down and 7 for the Rebels. Football on this near side hash. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you see the Rebels moving left to right. That's north to south. They line up with 2 in the backfield. Here's the snap. Give to Grohl left side. He's got some room. No, Jarman keeps it, pitches it, or gives it to a reverse to Wallenstein, and Wallenstein gets wrapped up. The defense staying in their lanes. Jordan Hardy back there, way back in the backfield, makes the tackle, and we have a flag back at the 36. And the flag is going to be an illegal block in the back against the Rebels. Now with the tackle back there at the 36, this is going to put the Rebels in a tough spot either way. They're going to decline the penalty because that way it's 3rd down instead of 2nd down. So a loss of about 10 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 17. Rebels from their own 36. They need the Tiger 47 for a first down. Weston out wide to the far side. Wallenstein out there in the slot. Grohl and Myers in the backfield. Here's the snap. Jarman rolling out to his left, away from us, to that far side. Waits, throws, and incomplete, intended for Wallenstein. The pass was a bit high. It goes through Wallenstein's hands, and even had he caught it, it would have been well short of the first down. But that'll bring up a 4th down for the Rebels, leading 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. 2:48 left on the first quarter clock, and Wallenstein will go back to punt this one away. Back deep to receive goes Notice, and here's a flag before we're going to have a false start on the Rebels. And march it back a few yards.
Prior to the snap,
we have an illegal procedure.
Another 5 yards.
5 yards back, and now instead of 4th and 17, it'll be 4th and 22, and that may give the Tigers a few extra yards and improve their field position. We'll see how it works out with the punt. 4th down and 22 from the 31-yard line for the Rebels, and they'll just go back to the huddle, call the punt again, and come out to punt this one away. Leifson out here to this near side on the coverage team. Here's the snap, and again a flag flies. They're going to call it dead, and we're going to have going to go back 5 yards forward as it's an offside penalty against the Tigers. I think they're going to have encroachment. The line judge here on this near side, that's what he was signaling as he went to talk with his other officials, and that is what it's going to be. So 5 yards back the other way to the 36-yard line, 4th and 17. And with 2:45 left here in this first quarter, Rebels lead 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. They'll line up to punt it again. Wallenstein back at the 26-yard line to punt this one away. Snap is good. He gets off a high punt, but it's angled toward that far sideline and takes a Tiger bounce and goes back about 5 yards. So
over the 40
across the 40-yard line.
42, where it'll be first down for the Tigers.
So the Tigers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Rebels had the ball for almost 5 minutes there, but were unable to get much of a drive together, and kind of hurt themselves with a penalty. Tigers from their own 42-yard line with 2:34 left in the first quarter on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels leading 7-0. Here's the snap. Hardy gives to Noyes. Noyes off the right side and wrapped up and brought down. Nice play by Myers.
Ball carrier Myers made the stop.
Shooting in there from his linebacker position. And Noyes, his first 2 carries went for 25 and 21 yards. That one for maybe 2.
Gain of a couple.
It's a short 2 for Noyes on that play.
From the 44.
So a 2nd down and a long 8 for the Tigers. Noyes moves in the backfield. No flag comes. Here's the snap. Give to another man coming around from the far side, and he's hit immediately and brought down. No room to run. And that's Kyler Clark making the tackle. He got some great penetration into the backfield to make that play. No gain, and it'll be 3rd down and 10. And I think that was, if I'm not mistaken, Carter Hardy on the carry. 3rd down and a long 8, we'll just say 9 yards for the Tigers. Again, 3 backs in the backfield. Hardy in the shotgun. Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff, coming to this near side. He's going to be wrapped up. He wanted to pitch, but nowhere to go with it. And a nice play once again by Kyler Clark. He's going to get the tackle for loss. Clear back at the, well, they brought him down clear back at the 30. They'll say forward progression and put him, mark him about the 36. That's a loss of 7. And that's that defensive penetration with pressure in the backfield. Nice play by Clark, and it'll bring up a 4th down for the Tigers. And in their own territory with a 4th and 15 to go, they'll surely line up to punt here. It's Jalen Hardy back there. Gets a good snap and gets off a high, wobbly punt that bounces once about the 42. A little bit of a Tiger bounce inside the 40 to the 37 is where the Rebels will take over 1st and 10.
37-yard line where the Rebels will take over.
37 seconds left, first quarter. And the Rebels lead 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. Their first drive, they moved the ball almost like they were going to dominate this one. It was like watching them play against a JV team. But this last drive, the Tigers made some adjustments and were able to slow the Rebels down quite a bit. We'll see what happens coming out on this 1st down for Rich High. Saby coming in motion. Here's the snap. Jarman fakes the handoff to Grohl. Keeps it himself. The option play coming out to this near side. Late pitch. Saby with a lot of room to run down the sideline to the 40. 30 is knocked out of bounds. And a big run all the way from the 37. Clear down to the 30-yard line is where he is marked out of bounds. So a 33-yard gain for Saby. And Jarman picked up about 15 of those before he made the pitch.
First down, that's the 30.
He likes to do that late pitch, and it can be risky, but if you execute well, you get big gains like that of, what did I say, 33 yards? Jarman up under center on first down and 10, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. And now the ball's on the ground, and the Rebels have fumbled it away. Leifson couldn't hold on to it after the handoff, and a turnover. Tigers recover at the 20-yard line.
Recovered that fumble, so the ball goes back to the
and
Tigers.
it was Wade Neto that recovered the fumble? Oh, Coulter Wright. Thanks, guys. Coulter Wright recovers the fumble for the Tigers, and they have it first and 10 from their own 20-yard line. With 20.6 seconds left, first quarter. And the Rebels leading 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels were moving the ball, just coughed it up. Here's the snap. Hardy hands off to Noyes, going to that far side. Again, the big hole. We saw that the first two plays, but he'll be wrapped up and brought down. And a nice play by Jarman to help with the tackle and wrap him up from behind. But still a 4 or 5 yard gain for Noyes. And that will bring us to the end of the first quarter. Rebels leading 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich, inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Bad credit? No credit? No problem. See Castle Rock Chevrolet for the marginal credit sale this weekend. At Castle Rock, we understand how essential owning a vehicle you can count on really is. So we don't care what your credit score is. Come into Castle Rock Chevrolet this weekend, and we'll do everything we can to help you into the vehicle that you want and need.
We're Castle Rock.
Bad credit? No credit. No problem. Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston.
Welcome back, and we'll have second quarter action coming up here on a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ. Tigers with it, a second down and 5, handoff to coming to this near side. Now as the Tigers moving left to right, north to south, and the give was to Noyes. No room to run. Big stop, Myers and Grohl in there, and no gain for Noyes on the play. And now the Tigers line back up with a no-huddle offense here for 3rd and 6. It was a loss of about 1, actually. Hardy fakes the handoff, keeps it himself, coming out to the far, or going out to the far side, out to the 25, but not much room out there. Gain of 1, maybe 2 yards for Hardy. As Grohl, Hopkins, Jarman get out there, Argyle as well in on the play, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 5. Hardy picked up about a yard is all, but it'll be 4th down, and we'll see if expect the Tigers to punt here from their own 25-yard line. Hardy going back, lining up for the punt. Leifson and Saby backing up right around the 40-yard line to receive this punt. Jarman gets in there close to a block. The ball bounces at the 50, takes a Tiger bounce down to the 40, 39, and the Tigers will scoop it up at the 38-yard line, where the where the Rebels will take over. 1st and 10, so a pretty good punt. And Rebels from their own 38. 10:53 left. Second quarter. Rebels leading 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels were moving the football pretty well. Their last possession, they ran just a couple of plays, and both of them for good yardage before they fumbled it away, and the Tigers took over. So we'll see if the Rebels can keep that offensive momentum going. Myers and Grohl in the backfield. Saby and Wallenstein out here to this Bartlome out here to this near side. Here's the snap. Give to Myers. He's got some room to run to the 45 and then tripped up right about the first down marker at close to the 47, 48-yard line, real close. And I see the line judge on the far side waving the chain gang on, and it's a first down for the Rebels. Brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Out to the 48-yard line, so really an 11-yard gain for Myers, who has 3 carries for 42 yards by my stats. Again, these any stats I give you, not official, but I promise you they're close. 10:24 left, second quarter. Rebels leading 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. 2 receivers out wide to each side. Grohl alone in the backfield. Jarman takes the snap, steps back, looking to throw. Throwing deep down this near side. He's got Wallenstein, and he just misplays it. It throws it. It's just overthrown. Wallenstein was starting to head toward the inside of the field. The throw was toward the outside, and it falls incomplete. That could have been a big play. But instead, it'll bring up a second down and 10. Rebels from their own 48-yard line. And today's game also brought to you in part by S-Bar S Trucking, Eric and Sherry South. Second down for the Rebels from their own 47-yard line. Bartlome out here on this near side. Jarman up under center, Grohl in the backfield. Myers coming in motion to the near side. Here's the pitch to Grohl, and he's got some room to run. Just one man to beat, can't get away from him, spins forward to about the 45-yard line. So Grohl with a nice gain of 7 will bring up a 3rd and 3. Makes it much more manageable on 3rd down. As the Rebels into Tiger territory. 9:45 left, second quarter. Rebels leading 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. Argyle out wide to the far side. And out here to the near side is Rose, I believe. And now we have a flag. On the far side of the line, we had some movement against one of the Rebels jumped. And so that'll march the Rebels back to the nose of the football on the 50-yard line. So they're back in their own territory in the second quarter, moving south to north. That's right to left from our view up here in the press box at Rich High School. And with that 5-yard penalty, it's now 3rd and 8 instead of 3rd and 3. Jarman up under center. Will send Saby in motion, going to the far side. Here's the snap, fake the handoff. Jarman running. He's got room to run. He's going to have the first down. Slips past the tackler at the 40, and then he's wrapped up and brought down about the 36. That'll be a first down and much more. 14 yards on the carry for Jarman. And you see what a dangerous runner he can be as he gets out, able to lengthen that stride and pick up some yardage. He eats them up quick. He reminds you running out there almost of Colin Kaepernick. That's the kind of long stride that Jarman has. As he picks up the first down there, brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Rebels move the chains, and they're back into Tiger territory at the 36-yard line. Jarman up under center with Grohl in the backfield. Wide receivers out to each side. Myers coming in motion from the slot. Here's the pitch to Grohl. We saw this play a couple minutes ago. Grohl gets outside to the 30, breaks a tackle, another at the 20, another at the 15, down to the 10, to the 5. The ball squirts free after he's down, and we also have a flag up here at the 20. Grohl a little bit slow to get up. He stays down, and we'll have to see just what happens. A flag also down here at the 20. Grohl breaking tackles all along the way. Would be about a 30-yard gain, but he's still down on his back down there about the 4-yard line. And we'll just hope that nothing is wrong. Rebels leading 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. 8:33 left, second quarter. Stay tuned. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back on the BIGO Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and online at KADQradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. expanding inventory, and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy Way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Well, Grohl is up and has to walk off the field, but he walks off of his own accord, off his own power, and looks like he's all right. He wanted to go back in and get on for the next play. Now, the penalty was against the Rebels. I missed what the call was. Oh, illegal block in the back. I just heard the public announcer, and so it's from the 21-yard line where the penalty occurred. They'll march it back to the 31, and it'll replay first down. So essentially a 5-yard gain for Grohl on that play, and repeat first down. Jarman up under center. Here's the snap. Fake the handoff. He's going to keep it himself. Try to go up the middle. He'll be sandwiched by a couple of Tiger defenders and brought down, but he does fall forward. Big tackle there by McKinnon Wilstead. And Jarman does pick up about 4. So it'll be second down and a little more than a yard to go. And for the Rebels, leading 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. Grohl is back in there, so apparently it would nothing serious as he stayed down after that last big run he had. Second down and 1. Saby going in motion to the far side. Here's a snap. Give to Saby, and he skips past one tackler who had would-be tackler who had some great penetration. And Saby able to pick up some good yardage, and now Grohl again on his back. And coach is out there quickly. It's a 10-yard gain for Saby. And Grohl up on his feet. And now he's going to walk off the field again on his own power. And just not sure what's going on there, but he's walking around. Takes his helmet off, and he'll take a breather for a few minutes at least. First down and 10 for the Rebels. First down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl at the 21-yard line of the Tigers. Saby, the deep back. Jarman with a hard count. He takes the snap, fakes the handoff, and going out to his right with the option. Pitch to Saby. Room to run to the 20. Bounces outside of the 15. 10-5. Touchdown, but a flag is on the field, and I think we're going to have a hold out there against the Rebels. Wallenstein out there blocking, and he was locked in with his defender. But we'll have to see what the penalty is. Saby able to bounce it outside, show some speed, and score the touchdown. But it's a hold on the Rebels. So that penalty, they'll mark it off from the spot of the foul, which was about the 11. 10 yards back, puts them at the 21-yard line for a first down and 10. It's basically a do-over, but it costs them 6 points. First and 10 from the 21. And we'll see if they can repeat. First and 10 for the Rebels. 6:56 left for second quarter, so first half. 7-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels with the lead. Jarman has his players switch sides. Argyle comes to this side as the tight end. Goes down, and we have an I formation in the backfield. Jarman takes the snap, fakes the handoff, give to a reverse to Myers. Lots of room right up the middle to the 10, to the 5, breaking a tackle, and inside the 5-yard line. Big gain by Myers, and boy, what a hole he had coming up. He came in motion from the far side to the near side, and boy, he got a big hole to run through, and picks up 17 yards on the carry. And that's been Myers' MO today. He's got carries of 16, 15, 11, and 17. So 4 carries and close to 50 yards. He's getting about 12 yards per carry. Rebels line up first and goal from the 4-yard line. That first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Give to Myers once again, bounces off some tacklers and spins around, dives forward, picks up a couple down to about the 2. So Myers with the 2-yard gain, it'll bring up a second down and goal from the 2-yard line. 7-0 Rebels on the Untitled scoreboard. 5:45 left, second quarter. Rebels took their opening possession. They received the kickoff and went 6 plays, 2 minutes, 28 seconds to go 65 yards and scored a touchdown, but we haven't seen any scores since then. Here's 2nd down and 2, 2nd down and goal for the Rebels. Jarman takes the snap, quick pitch out to this near side to Saby, trying to use his speed to get around and in, and he does. He just outruns the defense, dives ahead. Touchdown, Rebels. It's Cash Saby with his 2nd touchdown of the day. Both of them have been 2-yard touchdown runs, and the Rebels punch it in, make it 13-0 on the Untitled scoreboard with 5:22 left in this 2nd quarter. So the Rebels will come out and look like they'll try to attempt the extra point. Leifson trying to find the tee and get that out there so they can set the ball up out there. 5:22 left, 2nd quarter. And Saby, boy, when he got that pitch, he had a couple defenders right even with him, and he just turned on the jets, outran them to the corner to score that touchdown. And now the Rebels set for this extra point attempt. The snap is good. Jarman gets the hold down. The kick is up, and a nice high kick that goes through the uprights. And the Rebels lead 14-0 on the Untitled scoreboard with 5 minutes, 22 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
BIGO Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at BIGO.
BIGO Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Welcome back to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football here on KADQ FM. And you can watch the game online at KADQradio.com. The streaming going well today. And we're just off a 2-yard touchdown run by Cash Saby. And Saby, that's his 2nd touchdown run of the day. And now we have a kickoff here brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Leifson's kickoff, a low line drive. Long kick, bounces at the 5, and couple of bounces into the end zone. That'll be a touchback. Not a lot of air underneath it, but when you kick it over the deepest return man, that doesn't. It's not really a problem because it's an easy automatic touchback, and the Tigers will take it over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And that's where they've started. This is the 3rd drive they've started from their own 20. They started one drive at their own 42, but their other 2 and this one from their own 20-yard line. So they have not had very good field position, and they haven't been able to get their offense moving either. So that hasn't helped as well. Here's the snap. Hardy gives to a man coming this direction, and he'll be wrapped up quick. He kind of ran into his own blocker and into his back and couldn't find any room to run. And so Trevor Robinson, no room to run. He's brought down at the 20, maybe even lost a little bit, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Rebel defense had a couple of troubling. The first 2 plays, Caden Noyes picked up 25 and 21 yards, but they haven't been able to do much of anything since that point. The Tiger offense, that is. Here's the snap. Hardy gives off to a man going to the far side. He'll be wrapped up. That's Wade Neto, nowhere to go, and he's going to lose a few yards as Myers and Hopkin in the backfield make the tackle, and it's a loss of about 3. Back to the 17. And it's 3rd down and 13 for the Tigers. Rebels leading 14-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. 4:15 left in the 1st half. And the Tigers deep in their own territory, about the 17-yard line, a 3rd and 13. Here's the snap. Give to Noyes, going off the far side. Not much room to run. He lowers his head and just bowls forward for a couple out near the 19 and close to the original line of scrimmage. But nothing close to a 1st down. And it's going to be 4th down. That's a gain of 2 where they'll spot it. So 4th down and 11. And this time we'll have Wallentine back deep along with Leifson deep to receive this punt. Hardy gets it off. It's blocked by Jarman. Scooped up by Argyle. Yes, at the 10. Breaks it. No, he's tackled at the 5-yard line, and the block comes up big. McKay Jarman, I mentioned on that last punt, he just about got in there. This time he does get in there. Argyle picks it up, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rebels at the 5-yard line. And that turnover off the blocked punt brought to you by the station in Randolph. 1st and 10 for the Rebels just outside the 5-yard line. This is the best field position they've had today by far, and the way they moved the ball on that last possession, be surprised if they don't punch it in pretty quick here. 3:27 left in the second quarter. Rebels leading 14-0 on the Untitled scoreboard, and the Rebels come out with one in the backfield, and now whistles will blow this one dead. A timeout. Timeout on the field. The Rebels leading 14-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. 3:27 left, second quarter. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Bad credit? No credit? No problem. See Castle Rock Chevrolet for the marginal credit sale this weekend. At Castle Rock, we understand how essential owning a vehicle you can count on really is. So we don't care what your credit score is. Come into Castle Rock Chevrolet this weekend, and we'll do everything we can to help you into the vehicle that you want and need.
We're Castle Rock.
Bad credit? No credit. No problem. Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth or want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is endodontist Les Walker inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Rebels come out with a 1st and 10 from their 1st and goal from the 5. Jarman throws out to this near side, and if you're watching at KADQradio.com, you see it was a backward pass intended for Wallenstein. It was way high, and Wallenstein couldn't get up high enough to get it. It's recovered. It's considered a fumble and recovered by the Tigers, and they'll take over 1st and 10 from their own 4-yard line, or is that back at the 3? Yeah, back at their own 3. So the Rebels turn it over, and boy, should this come down to to be real close, that could be a costly turnover for the Rebels. We'll see what the defense can do here for Rich High, though. Here's the snap. Hardy in some trouble in the end zone. He's going to be tackled for a safety. The Rebels get the defensive pressure. Jarman, Argyle, Myers is there. Myers actually comes up with the football. But we're going to have a safety, and the Rebels will go up 16-0 on the Untitled scoreboard. Clock stopped at 3 minutes in the second quarter. And the Rebels lead. We're going to have a kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair when we come back. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Welcome back to a BIGO Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. You can watch it, the streaming live here on at KADQradio.com. And the Rebels come up with a safety. They turn it over deep in Tiger territory. The Tigers 1st and 10 from their own 3 and all kinds of pressure. Myers, I believe, will be credited with the tackle and the safety. And they tackle Hardy back in his own end zone, which will give the Rebels 2 points, make it 16-0 on the Untitled scoreboard, and also force the Tigers to kick it away. It's a free kick from their own 20, and they're going to line up Jalen Hardy to punt it away, is what it looks like. And here's the punt, a nice spiral, wobbly spiral, but Leifson fields it at the 40. Following his wall of blockers, showing some patience, breaks through at the 40 to the 35 from behind, almost tripped up, breaks a tackle at the 30, the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown, Joseph Leifson, a 60-yard touchdown return on the kickoff, brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. No flags on the field, and the Rebels are going to go up 22-0 on the Uinta title scoreboard, and you feel the momentum start to shift tremendously to the Rebels after that safety and now that big kickoff return by Leifson. Boy, Leifson showed some real good patience there after he fielded that free kick and just waited for the blocking to set up. It got set up. He hit the hole and just punched through, broke one tackle, nice stiff arm, and he was gone. A 60-yard kick return for the touchdown, and Leifson now lined up to kick the extra point. The snap is low. Jarman has to scoop it up and steps up looking to throw toward the end zone, and it's going to fall incomplete. He was looking for Kyler Clark out there, but underthrows him, and the pressure was there right on him. So the Rebels fail on the extra point, the two-point conversion attempt, and they'll settle for a 22-0 lead on the Uinta title scoreboard with 2:46 left to go in the first half. Rebels lead. You're listening to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and online you can watch it at kadqradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football at KADQ FM 98.3, and online you can watch it at kadqradio.com. A 60-yard kick return for a touchdown by Joseph Leifson, and great blocking by that Rebel kick return team. 2:46 left for second quarter. Rebels with the 22-0 lead. Leifson's kick, really a squib kick, takes a high bounce and now going to try and return it. Are the Tigers? Not much room for Noise across the 5, and he'll break one tackle at about the 8, and then wrapped up and pushed back at the 10. And no, that's not Noise back there. It looks like it's actually Dade Carter attempting that return, and probably should have just let that take another bounce into the end zone and take the touchback. Instead, he scoops it up, tries to run with it, and the Tigers have it 1st and 10 from their own 10-yard line with 2:39 left in the first half. Rebels lead 22-0 on the Uinta title scoreboard. Same formation with split backs and Noise back behind Hardy in the shotgun. That pistol formation, fakes the throw. Defense is there. He throws over the middle. Now it's almost tipped away by Myers, but it's caught, and it's off to the races. To Nathan Barnes, to the 40, to the 50, to the 40, and he is going to take it all the way to the house. A broken play, and Hardy, the heads-up toss to Barnes. Barnes goes 90 yards for the score. With 2:23 left in the second quarter, it's 22-6 as the Milford Tigers get one on the scoreboard. A 90-yard touchdown pass. The pass was really a wobbly, about a 5-yard throw, but Barnes with some speed there, he goes 90 yards for the touchdown. And he really did. He ran almost that entire 90 yards. He was coming across the middle of the field, caught it about the 12 or 13, and then just outran the Rebel defense all the way down this near sideline. And the Tigers will line up to go for 2 here. Hardy in the backfield. Here's the snap, running the option toward the left side, and nowhere to go. The Rebels have seen that play before, and Cash Saby will get in there and make the tackle, and nothing happening on that 2-point conversion attempt for the Tigers. 22-6, 2:23 left, second quarter. Rebels with the lead on the Uinta title scoreboard. We'll take a quick time out and be right back on a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Bad credit? No credit? No problem. See Castle Rock Chevrolet for the marginal credit sale this weekend. At Castle Rock, we understand how essential owning a vehicle you can count on really is. So we don't care what your credit score is. Come into Castle Rock Chevrolet this weekend and we'll do everything we can to help you into the vehicle that you want and need.
We're Castle Rock.
Bad credit? No credit. No problem. Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston.
Welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ and online at KADQradio.com. You can watch the game, and a 90-yard touchdown pass from Jaden Hardy to Nathan Barnes. Barnes ran about 88 yards with the football. It was a short pass. And the Tigers get on the scoreboard. It's 22-6 after they fail on the two-point conversion attempt. Hardy will do the kickoff, and it's a short kick. Leifson comes up, fields at the 25. Again, some patience. Finds a hole, breaks it outside. Oh, just can't get away from Hardy, who makes the tackle. No, that's number 17. It's Christian White who made the tackle. And so Leifson, still a decent return, and the Rebels will have good field position. 1st and 10 from their own, 35-yard line? Yeah, 35-yard line, Rebels. With 2 minutes, 14 seconds remaining here in this first half, and you just have to see how things go here. You'd like to get another score before halftime, but you don't want to force anything where you've already turned it over a couple of times. 2 fumbles so far in this one. Rebels need to really hold on to the football. Jarman up under center, 3 receivers out to the far side. He's going to roll out to his right, looking to throw over the middle, picked off! Intended for Savy. It's picked off by Barnes. He'll be tripped up by Hopkin and brought down. A late flag comes in as Barnes is down to the Rebel 42-yard line. That's where the flag is as well. And so with 2:06 left in this first half, the officials discussing what the penalty is. It's going to be a personal foul against the Rebels. Late hit against Rich High, so that's a 15-yard penalty. In addition to the interception and the return, that takes it all the way down to the 26-yard line. Tigers with excellent field position at the Rebel 26, and 2:06 left first half. Rebels leading 22-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Split backs with Noyes right behind Hardy. Here's the snap, fake to Noyes. Give to number 24 is Wade Neto, and he'll pick up a couple inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. So a gain of almost 3 for Neto. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 7. Clock is running down to 1:39. 36 left in the first half. 22-6 Rebels lead on the Untitled scoreboard. Hardy takes the snap. Here's the handoff to Noyes. Going to the left side, wrapped up and brought down. He picks up a couple, but Dakota Clark in there on the stop. He wrapped up Noyes and just held on tight. Noyes picks up a couple, and now we're going to have a quick timeout on the field. So Noyes with a 2-yard gain, and he's really been slowed down. He picked up on his first 2 carries. He had 25 and 21 yards, but since then it's been 0, 2, 5, 0, 2, and 2. And that last one goes for just 2 yards. Brings up a 3rd and 5 for the Tigers, who are trying to get another one on the scoreboard before the end of the half. It's 22-6 on the Untitled scoreboard, and Rich High, 3 turnovers here in this first half. They've been able to move the ball for the most part when they've had the football, but they're also having a hard time holding on to it. A couple of fumbles and then an interception on that last play. And Rich, with 3 turnovers here in this first half, makes it tough to put points on the board if you're not holding on to the football. Timeout here on the field. You're listening to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and you can watch online at KADQradio.com. Shadows starting to get a little bit longer here as we get later into the afternoon. And first half action, 1:19 left in this first half. 22-6 Rebels lead on the Untitled scoreboard. And boy, Tigers taking all the time they can on this timeout. This is a crucial moment for both teams. If the Tigers can get another score here, that would really put really go a long way toward getting them back into the game. The Rebels need a stop. Here's the snap and the pitch by Hardy out to the outside, and what a play by Leifson. He fights through the blocker and brings Neto down. Loss of about 3, maybe 4 yards on the play, clear back about the 25. And great effort by Leifson there. That's a loss of 4 on the play. Brings up a 4th down and 9. So a great effort by Leifson and the other inside defenders who really stretched that play out. Made Neto have to try and bounce it outside, and that's where Neto ran into Leifson. 4th down and 9 with under a minute to go on the Untitled scoreboard. Neto going in motion. Here's the snap, pitch to Noyes, trying to go outside, nowhere to go, cuts it back in, and 5 Rebels are there to stuff him. Saby's there, Hopkin, Argyle, Jarman, and I believe Clark was in there as well. Maybe Chalice Myers also. Pretty much the whole Rebel team was in there to make that tackle. Noyes loses 4 yards and turns it over to the Rebels. So the Rebels have it 1st down and 10, and that turnover on downs brought to you by the station in Randolph. Rebels with a 1st down and 10 from their own 29-yard line. But not much time, just 33.7 seconds left in this second quarter. And we'll see what they line up to do. Jarman steps back, looking to throw, steps up, away from the pressure. He's got Wallenstein down this near side, but he throws it too close to the middle, and it's picked off by number 3, Brandon Pomeranke. And the second interception of the game on the second consecutive pass for Jarman there. Just had that one thrown too far to the inside of the field rather than outside where his receiver was wide open. And Pomeranke just kind of had to play free safety back there and make the play. So the Rebels, or the Tigers rather, will take over once again from their own 36-yard line. And they'll come out 1st and 10. With 26 seconds left to go. Hardy, a quick screen out to this outside to Noyes, almost stripped away by Jarman. He breaks the tackle, and then he's wrapped up and brought down by Hopkin at the 40. It'll be a gain of 4 out to the 40-yard line, and we'll have another timeout on the field. And with that pass, that's just 4 yards for Hardy. And who did he pass it to? Noyes, right? A 4-yard gain. It's 22-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels with the lead, and again, the story of this first half is that the Rebels have moved the ball pretty well, and their defense has played real well. With the exception of a 90-yard touchdown, a short pass from Jalen Hardy to Nathan Barnes. Barnes ran about 88 yards of the 90-yard touchdown pass and run. With the exception of that one play, the Rebel defense has not given up much of anything to the Tigers. Tigers unable to sustain any kind of an offensive drive, but despite that, the Rebels haven't been able to pull away because they've turned it over 4 times. I believe, 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles, and that's prevented the Rich Rebels from really pulling away. It's 22-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Timeout is up, and Hardy steps back, looking to throw. A lot of pressure coming. He steps away from the pressure, now throws toward the middle, and Clark just knocks it down. And he's hitting himself right now, knowing he could have grabbed up with 2 arms, picked it off, and run for 6. But either way, that's a good play, as they got some great pressure in there. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 5. 12 seconds left on the Untitled scoreboard here in this first half. 22-6, Rebels with the lead. And with the stop clock now, the Tigers can take a little bit of time and try to figure out what they want to do here. From their own 40-yard line, it's 3rd down and 5. Hardy with Noyes behind him, about 3 yards back. Split backs. Here's the snap. Give to Hardy, or to Noyes up the middle. Got some room to run. Just got Cash Saby to beat across the 50 to the 40, and he brought down at the 35 with 6.5 seconds left to go. Noyes, the big gain of 25 yards and a 1st down, and they're going to try and run a quick play here. As soon as they get the whistle blow, it's going to start the clock. 6.5 seconds left in this first half, and Now the Rebels, Cash Saby coming off, favoring that left shoulder, and he's going to step off the field for a minute. He went down hard, bringing noise down, a touchdown-saving tackle there. And we'll see what the Tigers are going to do. Here's the snap, and Hardy will just throw it down to the ground to stop the clock and give them a chance to bring in a play and run one last play before the end of the first half. It's 22-6 on the Untitled scoreboard, and Hardy goes over to have a chat with his coach, Brian Williamson. Williamson saying, let's make it happen. Rebels defense needs a big stop here as the Tigers are starting to gain a little bit of momentum. And now a flag flies in as the Tigers come up to the line of scrimmage. Here's the call from the official, a dead ball illegal procedure. Illegal motion, and that'll march the Tigers back 5 yards. The ruling is that he can't spike the ball from shotgun. He's got to be under center to spike the ball. So that's the 5-yard penalty. It's 2nd down and 15. But with 3.6 seconds left, the 2nd down isn't a big deal. They're just going to try. They try a handoff. They give it to going to that far side. It's fumbled, and the buzzer sounds as a scrum for the football. But the give was to Wade Neto. He picked up about 4 yards, maybe 5 before the end of the half. And that's going to take us to halftime. 22-6, Rebels lead on the Untitled scoreboard. And that's the end of first half action. Stay tuned. We got our halftime show coming up. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
BIGO Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99. BIGO Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Bad credit? No credit? No problem. See Castle Rock Chevrolet for the marginal credit sale this weekend. At Castle Rock, we understand how essential owning a vehicle you can count on really is. So we don't care what your credit score is. Come into Castle Rock Chevrolet this weekend, and we'll do everything we can to help you into the vehicle that you want and need.
We're Castle Rock.
Bad credit? No credit. No problem. Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston.
Welcome back to a BIGO Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com. And back here with the first half highlights, the Rebels with the lead 22-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. And it was a rocky first half for the Rebels. We're going to have some highlights for you here. The Rebels able to move the football, but turned it over 4 times in that first half. And McKay Jarman with 2 interceptions. The Rebels also fumbled it 2 times. And that really just kind of wrecked. They had some good drives going, and they had actually, at one point, they had a 1st and 10. They forced a fumble inside they blocked a punt and recovered it at the Tiger 5-yard line and had 1st and goal at the 5, but then a fumble. Now, they took advantage of the Tigers being deep in their own territory, got the safety. Joseph Leifson had a 60-yard return for a touchdown on the ensuing kickoff, and that made it 22-0. But, again, the turnovers have been an issue for the Rebels. After that kickoff return for a touchdown by Leifson, the Tigers took it over from their own 10-yard line, and just one play, they went 90 yards. It was a short pass from Hardy to Barnes. Barnes did most of the work, ran about 85, 90 yards on the play, and scored. That made it 22-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels got it back, an interception on their first play. Then they forced a turnover on downs and got it back. Again, an interception on their first play of the next possession. And the Tigers were threatening to score there at the end of the first half, but the Rebel defense held. And so that took us to halftime, 22-6, Rebels with that lead on the Untitled scoreboard. And the way they've played, with the exception of those turnovers, it feels like they should be ahead by much more than they are. However, they are ahead by 2 touchdowns. And they'll obviously look to build on that in the second half. And we'll see if they can make some adjustments to avoid those turnovers, hold on to the football a little better. And 2 of those were fumbles, so that's something. Just need to tuck the ball a little better, get 2 hands on the football. Well, you're listening to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at KADQradio.com. Today we have a couple of features coming up, Student in the Classroom, and our interview with the Wyoming Cowboy head coach on the Coach Dave Christensen show. That's all coming up right now here on KADQ.
Well, you're listening to the halftime show here on KADQ, and welcome to Students in the Classroom. Today we'll visit with Rich High Rebels Senior Class President, Caden Bartlome.
So, Caden, what are you involved with in the classroom in school?
I'm the student body president, and I'm involved in, right now I'm taking 12 college credits out of the concurrent enrollment through Snow College in Utah State.
So, student body president, what was your campaign? Tell us, how did you win?
I had to run against my friend, McKay Jarman, and that was tough. But I just did something every day, just tried to get involved and help the kids remember me and be a nice kid. I don't know.
What were some of the memorable things that you did that you said you did something every day?
One day I did dum-dums and said, don't be a dum-dum, vote for Bart. That's what everybody calls me, is Bart. And I don't know, I did a lot of candy, gave away a lot of candy and stuff like that. I went the night before and put a bunch of labels on water bottles that said drinks are on Bart, so vote for Bart for president. So,
what does that include for you, being the student body president? What do you have to do this year?
I just think I need to be more an example to other kids, not only in the classroom but in athletics, especially like at the volleyball games, make sure everybody's doing rowdy right and stuff like that.
And you said you're taking some current enrollment through Utah State, and what's your goal there, or how far along are you in college credit?
By the time I graduate, I'll have 48 college credits, and that'll make it so when I get off my mission, I'll just have a semester to go to, hopefully to Weber State, and then I can start in my degree.
And what are you looking to go into?
Medical field, anesthesia, something like that.
How did you get interested in that?
I don't know. I've always kind of wanted to do something medical. I have 2 older sisters that one went into radiology and one is a nurse. And I don't know. I've always liked anesthesia. When I got knocked out from my surgery, I thought the anesthesia was really cool. So I thought it would be a good job.
For those of us who don't know, what was the surgery?
I had a gum surgery in my mouth my freshman year, and I couldn't play football for 2 weeks, and so it was kind of tough. But I had to do it, so got to do what you got to do, I guess.
So what else are you involved with, or what other classes are you taking?
I'm also taking choir and seminary.
Are you a performer?
Yeah, I've been in the musical for the last 3 years. I love the musical. It's fun. Last year I was a lead, and so it was a lot of fun, a lot of responsibility, but it was fun.
What was the show last year?
It was South Pacific, and I was Luther Billis.
There ain't nothing like a dame, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, great. And so you'll go to Weber State for some pre-med classes, and then then will you move on to another school for your PhD and such?
Yeah, if I go into anesthesia, I'll have to go back east. I think the closest one may be in Michigan. Don't quote me on that, though, but there might be one in Colorado. I haven't really looked into it that much.
So what about on the football field? How about playing at Mountain Crest last week on that field? Is that nice?
Yeah, it's nice. I think it was my sophomore year. It was definitely the hottest game I've ever been in my life there. That turf, it's got to radiate 10 degrees hotter than it usually is. And it was nice Saturday to have some clouds. And it's still pretty hot, but nothing that we couldn't handle. I mean, Summit Academy was warm.
This week you guys have Milford. Is that a big game?
Yeah, we definitely got to start out. Coach Brown always says that there's 3 seasons, the preseason, the regular season, and the playoffs, and he's really focused, and we got to start out the regular season right.
So do you remember playing Milford in the past couple of years?
Yeah, I remember playing Milford. Last year we went down there, and they're young. They're probably all going to be juniors this year, and they're young, and they're going to be talented, but we just got to play our best, and I think we can take care of them, hopefully.
Do you have a tendency, or does the team have a tendency to look ahead to the schedule and a team that's undefeated in the last 3 seasons? Or are you focused on this week?
You can't help but look at Duchesne. I mean, the things that they've done over the last 3 years. Honestly, I've never beat them. I beat them last year in JV, and that's it, and it was awesome. But you look forward, but you have to take it one week at a time and one season at a time, and just when you meet them, and you got to play the best of your ability then.
Well, good luck this week against Milford. Go get them.
Thank you.
This has been Students in the Classroom featuring Caden Bartlome. Next on the Halftime Show, we'll visit with University of Wyoming Cowboy head coach on the Coach Dave Christensen Show.
Coach, Air Force has a pretty good quarterback in Silvanini. Your thoughts and your take on him?
Well, I think he's very athletic, and usually that's the case with an Air Force quarterback. I think that the one thing that he's a little bit different is he's a pretty good thrower, and so he's two-dimensional in that way where a number of times they've had guys that maybe aren't as great a thrower, but this guy can throw the football, and he's also athletic, and so he's a threat running the ball.
Is Air Force a tricky team to prepare for?
They've always been tricky to prepare for. They are different than what we normally see on a weekly basis from an offensive standpoint, and so it is different no matter what they're doing. And there's a lot of things to prepare for, and they've presented a lot thus far in a very short season.
Now we've briefly touched on Air Force's offense. Talk a little bit about Air Force's defense.
Well, I think they played two outstanding teams. I think Utah State and Boise State are, favored to be the top two teams along with Fresno in the Mountain West Conference. So, their schedule started out much tougher than everybody else's, and I think that had something to do with the success that the offense has had versus their defense.
After last year's outrage against the Air Force Academy, are you expecting some kind of response from the Air Force Falcons fans?
No, I think the focus is on the football game and both teams playing Saturday night.
Coach, have you looked forward to this game with Air Force, or have you been dreading this game because of the incident last year?
No, that doesn't play much into the game at all. I'm not playing one snap, and I don't think Troy is either. So, our focus is on execution, our offense, our defense, our special teams, and being ready to play Saturday night. That's where the focus is at. My behavior is going to be much better, and I'll watch my P's and Q's, and the focus should be on the players and the teams and not on the coaches.
Talk a little bit right now about Brett Smith's early injury to his ankle against University of Northern Colorado. Does it affect him? Will he be ready to go, or how's that?
He was 100% this morning in practice, so unless something happens in practice this week, I would expect him to be 100% on Saturday.
How does he compare to other quarterbacks at Wyoming or other quarterbacks in the league?
I think he's right in there with the top guys in the league. He runs our offense and the way we want it ran. He's a guy that is very competitive. He's got great numbers. He puts up big numbers, and I think he's a threat. If you're a defensive, looking at it from a defensive standpoint, I think he's a huge threat. So, I think we have a number of great quarterbacks in this league, and I think he's certainly in that mix.
Coach, Brett Smith's about a touchdown away from being the all-time touchdown leader at Wyoming. Do you see him setting other records there?
Well, he should. He's got at least I don't know how many 20-something games left probably. I'm not real good with math, but if he continues to progress, he's certainly capable of playing better than he has in the last 2 weeks. And if he continues to make the improvement and development that he has made along his career, he probably will have a chance to break almost every record in the books here.
The Wyoming offense has got a couple of slow starts in the last couple of games. How are you going to deal with that?
Well, our biggest flaws of our 90-plus plays we ran last week, 32 had execution flaws, and those are things that they've been coached to do that are, when it comes down to execution, if you can't execute, you're not going to have success. And we had 32 plays that had breakdowns and just the execution. There's going to be times the defense is going to be in position. It's not going to be a big gain. But, making proper reads when you're the quarterback, taking the proper steps when you're the offensive line, adjusting the route the right way when you're a receiver, hitting the right read and hole when you're a running back. Those are all things that come down to execution. And frankly, we did not execute very well last week. And so we'll work hard on making sure that we get that corrected. But, it's not an issue that certainly can't be fixed. And, we have to do a better job in our preparation, and because preparation is going to allow you to execute, and if you execute, you get a chance to be successful.
There's our halftime visit with Wyoming football coach Dave Christensen.
Well, thank you to Wyoming Cowboy head coach Dave Christensen and to Mark Hainsworth for that interview here on KADQ. We're getting ready for the third quarter kickoff. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3, and you can watch online at kadqradio.com. Shadows getting longer here as we head for the second half action. Rebels leading 22-6 on the Untitled scoreboard over the Milford Tigers, and that first half was, frankly, it was all Rebels except for 4 turnovers. They fumbled it twice, threw 2 interceptions. Tigers came up with one big offensive play, a 90-yard touchdown pass from Jalen Hardy to Nathan Barnes, Nathan Barnes. And that was it, really offensively, that they were able to do. Cash Saby scored 2 touchdowns for the Rebels in that first half, both 2-yard touchdown runs, and he had right around 63 yards rushing on 5 carries in the first half. Chalice Myers, 5 carries for close to 50 yards. Actually closer to 60 yards on the ground. And the Rebels will kick off here, brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff to start this third quarter. Kicking south to north, that's right to left from our view. And if you're watching on kadqradio.com, that's right to left from the view of the camera. Here's the kickoff by Leifson. A little bit of more air underneath this one. It's tipped by
Ball goes out at the 5-yard line.
Wade Neto. It goes out of bounds at the 5. But since it was touched by him, maybe he didn't touch it. I thought he'd touched it. The flag flies, and they'll give the Tigers some decent field position. You can hear some fans out there yelling, "He touched it, he touched it." And some of the coaches as well of the Rich Rebels. I don't know that I've ever seen the situation where a player of the receiving team touches the football, but it would make sense to me if he did touch it and then it went out of bounds. It would be a live football and should be at the 5-yard line, 1st and 10. That's where the line of scrimmage should be, but I may be wrong about that. The officials have it under control. It's 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line. Tigers with the football as we start the third quarter. And they'll send a man in motion. Here's the snap. Give to Noyes, and he is met immediately by Saby and wrapped up. 3 other Rebels come in. Myers and Clark in there. And they make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 for Noyes. And again, he had his first 2 carries were for a combined 46 yards. Since then, he's gained very little. He did have a big carry in the second quarter. But other than those 3 carries, he's been held almost to nothing or negative yards like that one for a loss of 3. 2nd down and 13. Hardy takes the snap looking for the pitch. It's on the ground, and the ball is loose. 3 Tigers are there, though, and I think the Tigers fell back on it. Might have actually been Noyes who came on top of it, but it'll be a loss of another 3 or 4 yards and push the Tigers back to their own 29-yard line. That's 3 more yards back. And the Tigers are going the wrong direction. It's 3rd and 16 22-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels with the lead. 10:53 left here in the third quarter. Football on this near side hash. One man out wide to that, out far to that wide side. Here's Hardy. The pitch to Noyes. He tries to cut it upfield and slips down. He had nowhere to go anyways. He would have lost a couple of yards and took a beating for it. So he goes down 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and in 3 plays, the Tigers march backwards 10 yards. That Rebel defense has stiffened up to start this second half, and it's 4th down and 20 for the Tigers. As the Rebels get set for this punt return, Argyle just about gets a hand on it. Leifson comes up and fumbles the punt return attempt right at midfield, and the Tigers are on top of it. And the Rebels having a hard time holding on to the football today. That's turnover number 5 in this football game. And fumble number 3. We've had 2 interceptions and, as I mentioned, 3 fumbles. So the Tigers' new life here. From midfield, they're just on their own side of the 50-yard line. 10 minutes, 13 seconds left. Third quarter. Rebels leading 22-6, but they're hurting themselves. Here's a quick pass by Hardy out to the outside to Barnes. He'll break a couple of tackles, trying to scoot through the defense and then be wrapped up by Myers, Argyle, and Leifson at the 46, a gain of about 4 on the pass and run. And Barnes showed some shiftiness there, ability to break a few tackles and get around some tacklers, but gains about 3.5, and it's 2nd down and a long 6. Rebels defense comes up. Here's the snap. Hardy give to Noyes off the left side. He'll break 1 tackle and then be hit hard and pushed back by the Rebel defense. And Argyle and Jarman in there on the tackle. Bartlome in there as well. It's a gain of a couple. Give them 3 yards on that carry. And they're inside the Rebel 45-yard line, just inside the 45. It's 3rd and a long 4. They need the 40, and they're just inside the 45. 22-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels lead, but they've got 5 turnovers in this ball game, so fortunate to be on top with under 9 to go in the third quarter. Hardy takes the snap, give to that far side to Neto, and he'll be wrapped up immediately, and there's that Rebel defense. Jarman got in there and wrapped him up initially, and then a few others came in, including Myers, Hopkin, and Bartlome in there to help in on the tackle. They bring him back, bring him down 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down, and Hardy will back up to punt from his own 41-yard line. Leifson and Coley Brown back deep, and now they're going to run the fake punt, and they're going to convert. The pass to Neto. He breaks 1 tackle. Now he'll be brought down at the 25 by Brown, and on that fake punt, they pick up about 20 yards.
By number 6, Coy Brown.
The ball was at, the 46-yard line. They make it down to the 24, so it's a 22-yard play and a 1st down to Neto, and the Rebels just weren't even thinking that in any way. Weren't watching for that in the least, and that gives the Tigers a 1st down and new life inside the 25-yard line. Hardy in the shotgun. Again, that's kind of a pistol formation with Noyes behind him. No, that's behind him was Neto. Neto gets the handoff, and he drives his way forward for a gain of a couple.
Brown makes the stop.
About the 22-yard line.
Gain of a couple, 2nd down and 8.
And it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Tigers. They were forced to a 3-and-out to start this third quarter, but fumble on the attempt, the punt return attempt by the Rebels gave it right back to the Tigers. Again, forced to a 3-and-out, but they do run a fake punt and pick up the 1st down. Now Hardy takes the snap and give to the far side to Neto again with the football. He'll pick up a few yards down close to the 15. And he'll be close to a 1st down. It's a gain of about 6.
3rd and 2.
And it'll bring up a 3rd and short. 3rd and 2, we'll call it, with 7 minutes left in the third quarter. Rebels leading 22-6 on the Untitled scoreboard, and just shooting themselves in the foot with turnovers today. Hardy takes the snap, fakes the handoff, trying to get the option going. Breaking 1 tackle is number 30. And that's Trevor Robinson, who scoots his way forward close to a 1st down. He's going to have it. He broke a couple of tackles and just gave that second and third effort to get down to the 13-yard line.
First and 10 from the 13.
He picked up about 5 yards on the carry and moves the chains for the Tigers. 6.5 left, third quarter. Rebels leading 22-6 on the Unititle scoreboard. Hardy again in the pistol. Waiting. Here takes the snap. Now gives it to Noyes going up the middle. Shifts toward the far side. Then he's wrapped up and he'll be brought down, but he does pick up a couple close to the 10-yard line. They'll mark it about the 11 for a gain of 2.
Mason and Myers make the stop. Gain of a couple on the play.
Gain of 2 for Noyes on the play.
And a long hank from the...
And they've run some plays. They're getting their offense some work here in this second half, in the third quarter. A second down and 8. Hardy takes the snap, spins around, option play, pitches to Neto. He'll be met by Hopkin and pushes forward. He's able to drive his feet and pick up a couple before a few more Rebels come in and help out on the tackle.
Make the tackle.
And it'll be a gain down to the 10-yard line. So 2 more yards for Neto. And that will bring up a 3rd and 7. So really more of just a yard on the play. 22-6 on the Unititle scoreboard. Rebels lead with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. Tigers knocking on the door. Here's the snap. Give to Noyes up the middle. Scoots around a few tacklers, and then he's wrapped up, and he'll be brought down right around the 10. Maybe got inside the 10. We'll see where they mark it. And just about all the Rebels in helping out on that tackle. We'll bring up a 4th down and a long 5 at the 9-yard line.
9-yard line.
Under 4.5 to go in the third quarter. Tigers still with the football. Knocking on the door. Here's the snap. Hardy rolling out to his right. On 4th down, he throws incomplete. Leifson in there on the defensive coverage. And don't know if he knocked it away, but he sure made it a tight window that Hardy couldn't get the ball into. And on 4th down, that's a turnover on downs. So the Rebel defense steps up big and forces a turnover on downs for the second time this afternoon. And that turnover brought to you by the station in Randolph. And the Rebels will take over 1st and 10. And this will be their first possession of the second half because they did force the Tigers into a 3-and-out, a punt situation earlier in this quarter, but then fumbled the punt return and gave it right back to the Tigers. Now they have 1st and 10 deep in their own territory at their own 9-yard line with 4:25 left in the third, leading 22-6 on the Unititle scoreboard. Here's Jarman, takes the snap, coming out here with the option, some room to run across the 20, breaks a tackle to the 25, to the 30, before he's sandwiched by 3 Tiger defenders and brought down to about the 32, maybe the 33-yard line. They'll mark it right about the 32. It's a 21-yard gain for Jarman and a 1st down. And we've seen the Rebels have some great success moving the football. They haven't been stopped much except when they turn it over. That's been their biggest problem today. 5 turnovers, 3 fumbles, and 2 interceptions, and yet they're still leading 22-6 on the Unititle scoreboard. Their defense has been dominant today, giving up just 1 big play. Jarman up under center, I formation in the backfield. And he'll take the snap, give to Saby going off the right side, breaks 1 tackle up outside the 35 to the 37 or 38-yard line before he'll be dragged down. And yes, the 38 is where they'll mark it. That's a gain of 6 for Saby, who's got about 70 yards on the ground now. Looks like Ben Grohl is done for the day. I've got the word that he separated his shoulder earlier in the game. Came back in and separated it again. So he's here on the sideline watching, but not going to see any more action today. And we'll try to get updates as the day goes on. Here's the snap. Give to Layson. He bounces it outside, trying to get the speed around the corner. He gets around to the 40, to the 50, to the 40, wrapped up and drug out of bounds. And down to about the 35-yard line. Leifson breaks it open from the 37-yard line to the 37-yard line. And a big gain of 26. No, they'll mark it at the 36, so it's a 27-yard gain for Leifson.
About a 27-yard gain on the play.
And Leifson showing his speed around the outside. Number 17 was out there, Christian White for the Tigers, and Leifson just made a real slight move to the inside and then just bounced it out, turned on the Jets, and got around the corner. 1st and 10 for the Rebels. First down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Here's the give to Leifson again. Patient move up the middle. Finds a hole, and this time he'll be brought down by White. White this time not fooled by the speed, but Leifson does pick up a good carry of, down, they were at the 36. He's down to the 24, or the 23-yard line, so 13 yards for Leifson on that carry. The Rebels opening up some good holes and finding some nice blocking here. Myers, Saby in the backfield, and a hard count by Jarman, and we see some movement up front. Also in there, Kyler Clark in the backfield. And we have an offside encroachment penalty against the Tigers, who had 4 penalties in the first half for 20 yards. Rebels had 4 for 35. Rebels will march up the 5 yards and just set to go again on 1st and 10. Here's the snap. Jarman fakes the handoff, going out to his right with the option. He'll pitch out to Saby. Got some room to run. Goes back inside. Great blocking out there. Touchdown, Saby. No flag on the play. Did he get the score? I haven't seen an indication from the referee yet, but he might have stepped out about the 4. It looked like a touchdown, but yeah, they're going to say he stepped out about the 4. So that's a 15-yard run for Saby. And we did get one of the officials signaled touchdown, but the line judge on the far side said nope, he stepped out here at the 4-yard line. So it's 1st and goal for the Rebels. Jarman up under center with 3 in the backfield. Here's the snap. Gives the handoff right up the middle to Clark. And some confusion. I got to correct myself. It was a touchdown for Cash Saby. The handoff to Clark just moments ago was a 2-point conversion attempt, which failed. So the Rebels now lead 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. A minute 52 left in the 3rd quarter. You're listening to a BIGO Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watch online at KADQradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
BIGO Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at BIGO.
BIGO Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Welcome back to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ. A 19-yard touchdown run by Cash Saby. Got some great blocking there on the outside. Was that Alex Bird blocking out there? The wide receiver out there on that far side. If you're watching online at KADQradio.com, you saw that real nice block that enabled Saby to score. Makes it 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. And Leifson's kick, a low line drive, bounces out toward that far side into the end zone for a touchback. So the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 20, and that's, I believe, the 3rd touchback we've seen from Leifson's kickoffs today. Not a lot of air underneath them, but he really kicks them hard. They get they move, and they usually take a good Rebel bounce toward the end zone, and he's able to kind of kick it away from the return man and bounce it in the end zone for the touchback. A minute 52 left, 3rd quarter. Rebels able to maintain possession there and get the score, leading 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Hardy takes the snap, give to Noyes coming up the middle, and nowhere to go. A wall of Rebel defenders is there at the 20, right at the line of scrimmage. Noyes uses his momentum to pick up maybe a yard as Myers and Clark in there on the tackle. And that'll bring up 2nd down and 9 after Noyes picks up maybe 1 yard. Not quite a yard on the play. 1:20 left, third quarter. Rebels leading 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. And the Tigers come back up to the line of scrimmage. Hardy takes the snap, coming out to this near side with the option, and he tries to cut it inside, and he is sandwiched by Jarman and Myers. And, boy, Hopkins was in there too, and poor Hardy had nowhere to go. And actually, yeah, he did lose a couple of yards on the run. He has not had anywhere to run today. That Rebel defense has got him locked down. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 11 for the Tigers. Hardy back there in the pistol. Sends a man in motion, and now we have some movement on the front line, and a flag flies. Now, kickoff moments ago resulted in a touchback. The kickoff was brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. And the penalty is against the Tigers. It's an illegal procedure. Mark them back 5 yards and make it 3rd down and 16 from their own 14-yard line. Clock is running down to 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Rebels leading 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. As the Tigers come out to the line of scrimmage facing a 3rd and 16 from their own 14-yard line. Takes the snap. Here's the give to Noyes up the middle. An initial hole. He scoots through it, but then wrapped up and brought down about the 16, 17-yard line. Myers in on the tackle. And it's a gain of 2. And that will take us to the end of the third quarter. And the Rebels lead 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. You're listening to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3 and online at kadqradio.com.
Bad credit? No credit? No problem. See Castle Rock Chevrolet for the marginal credit sale this weekend. At Castle Rock, we understand how essential owning a vehicle you can count on really is. So we don't care what your credit score is. Come into Castle Rock Chevrolet this weekend, and we'll do everything we can to help you into the vehicle that you want and need.
We're Castle Rock.
Bad credit? No credit. No problem. Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth or want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is endodontist Les Walker inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ and 98.3 FM. And Rebels force the Tigers to punt. Hardy barely gets this one away as Jarman comes in again trying to get that block. A decent punt from his own 5-yard line out to about the 45, but it takes a Rebel bounce and rolls out of bounds at about the 40. No, but it took a good Rebel bounce down to about the 38. So the Rebels with good field position. And they'll take over from the Tiger 38-yard line. 1st and 10 with 11:54 left to go in the ball game. Rebels with a comfortable lead, 28-6, despite 5 turnovers in this football game. Their defense has played well enough with the exception of one 90-yard touchdown pass they gave up. They haven't given up much else. I formation in the backfield, Leif's in the deep back. Here's the snap, fake the handoff up the middle. Now the pitch out to Leifson, it's high, but Leifson reels it in, pushes ahead to the 35, and sandwiched by 2 Tiger defenders. He gets a great spot. His knee, what I saw, went down at the 35, but they give him the 34-yard line. Maybe that's where the ball was reached out to as he went down. And actually, they'll mark it clear down to the 33. So it's a gain of about 5.5 yards for Leifson. We'll give him 5, and it'll be 2nd down and 5. Leifson in the backfield, along with Kyler Clark. Here's the snap. Fake to Clark, give to Chalice Myers coming the other way. A lot of room to run to the 20, to the 10. He's finally wrapped up and brought down. Broke one tackle about the 20 and then the 15, and then brought down, clear down at the 10-yard line. It's a 23-yard gain for Myers, and that's what we've seen out of him most of this ball game. He had runs of 16, 15, 11, 17, and just 2 in the first quarter. Lots of big carries, though. And here, a first down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. So a first down for the Rebels, just inside the 10-yard line. So it'll be first and goal. Kyler Clark and Joseph Leifson in the backfield. Myers in the slot on this near side. Here's the snap. Give to Clark going up the middle, and he'll be stood up and pushed back, and then a late flag flies in down near the goal line. Clark able to pick up a couple. He didn't have a lot of room to run, but he did get down to about the 7-yard line, maybe the 8. But there is a flag. We'll see what that is. It's an illegal block in the back on the Rebels. That's not going to help them out here. And that'll march Rich High back. The spot of the foul, the flag went down at the right about the 1-yard line, but they're going to march it off from the end of the play and put him back at the 17.
Flag on the play.
An illegal block in the back on the Rebels. Repeat first down, and it's first and goal from the 17-yard line. Clark and Leifson in the backfield. Myers in the slot on the far side. Here's the snap. Fake to Clark, give to Myers, and not much room to run as he'll be wrapped up and brought down by Jordan Hardy. Myers did pick up a couple just inside the 15. And it'll bring up a second down and goal for the Rebels. With 10-10 left in the fourth quarter, Rebels leading 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. And see if they can just run some clock and punch one in here. They're going to take all the time they can and just to run that clock down. Under 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Rebels leading 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you can see the shadows growing longer. And now we're going to have a whistle and a timeout for the Rebels. We'll take a quick one as well as 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels leading with 9:42 left to go in the ball game. You're listening to a BIGO Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM. And watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Welcome back to a BIGO Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3, and you can watch online at kadqradio.com. A beautiful afternoon for high school football, and the Rebels facing a second down and 15. It's really second and goal from the 15. As Rich High leads 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Jarman up under center, Leifson and Clark in the backfield. Here's the snap. Jarman rolling to his right, stops, looking back toward the middle, lobbing it up high to the corner of the end zone, and boy, Wallenstein went up, made a great effort to go up and get it, but the throw was too long and a bit outside, just a bit out of bounds, falls incomplete. Jarman being a little more cautious there. He's got a couple of interceptions today, making sure if somebody was going to get it, the only one that could would be his guy. That'll bring up a third and goal from just inside the 15-yard line. Myers and Bartlome come in to bring the play in from the sideline. Rebels moving north to south, and that's, if you're watching online at kadqradio.com, that's left to right on the video stream. Jarman up under center with a I formation in the backfield. We had some movement, but they don't stop the play, and now the throw for Argyle in the end zone, just a bit too far in front, led him just a bit, And it falls incomplete. Boy, he was wide open. He released from his tight end spot, just ran that seam up the side, and just missed incomplete. Boy, he was wide open. Just couldn't quite get to the football. Brings up a 4th down and goal from the 15-yard line. And with a 28-6 lead on the UN Untitled scoreboard, 9:29 left to go, the Rebels line up to go for it here. Argyle out wide to the left, Wallenstein out wide to the right side, Leifson and Myers in the slot, and Clark alone in the backfield. Here's the snap, throw to Wallenstein on a quick slant, and Jarman overthrows him. It's a bit high and behind him, and it falls incomplete, which is a turnover on downs. It'll give the ball back to the Tigers at their own 15-yard line. So the Rebels put together a nice drive, but it just stalls down there after a illegal block in the back penalty, pushes them back outside the 15-yard line and can't get it done from there. So they'll turn it over on downs, and the Tigers will take over with 9:26 left to go, 1st and 10 from their own 15, trailing the Rich Rebels 28-6 on the UN Untitled scoreboard. Hardy back there, sends a man in motion, takes the snap. The give is to Neto coming to this near side, and he's got no room to run as Clark is in there to help on the tackle. Both Clarks, it looked like, number 33, Kyler, and number 54, Dakota. Kyler was really the one that made the most of the tackle. 9 minutes left to go. It's 28-6. Rebels with the lead on the UN Untitled scoreboard. And Tigers taking their time here as they come out to the line of scrimmage, moving right to left. That's south to north. And here's the snap. Give to Noyes up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles, and just drags a guy forward, diving ahead across the 20-yard line. Clark got a hold of his leg and just held on and got drug a yard or two out to the 21-yard line. So Noyes, pretty good gain of about 5. And that'll bring up 3rd down. We'll call it 3. It's really, actually, we'll call it 4 here. They need the 25, and they're just outside the 21. Hardy takes the snap, fakes the handoff, gives coming this side, and slipping down to the ground. Argyle was there, and another Rebel, who was that? Hopkin was also in there to bring him down. If Neto hadn't slipped down, he might have been hammered by those two Rebels. So that'll bring up a 4th down. It's a loss of about 5 on the play. Neto had nowhere to go, and Hardy will step back to punt this one away. I wouldn't expect to see a fake punt in this situation. And Leifson and Coy Brown will go back deep to return. It's a low line drive punt. Bounces once at the 45. Brown scoops it up, and he'll be wrapped up immediately at midfield. And nice coverage by Neto there. And so the Rebels will have it 1st and 10 right about midfield, leading 28-6 on the UN Untitled scoreboard with 7:25 left to go in the football game. And yeah, they'll mark it right at the 50. And let's see if the Rebels can just run out some clock here and maybe punch one more in and hold on to this victory, leading 28-6 on the UN Untitled scoreboard. Rebels going to take their time coming out. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you see those big shadows starting to come in from the west, and the press box shadow covering about 10 yards out there on the field. Jarman up under center, takes the snap. No, we've got a new quarterback in there. That's Coy Brown. He'll fake the pitch. Now the late pitch to Leifson down the sideline to the 45, to the 40, and just tries to run right through a man at the 35, pops up, and then drops back down to the ground, and he is down at the 32 in some pain. Leifson with the big carry there, and we have a flag back here at the 50. Coach Brown right out there with the official trying to talk about what just happened. And Leifson real slow to get up. That flag back at the 50 is going to bring this play back. And the Rebels having a hard time right now with penalties. This is more penalties in this game than we've seen in the other games up to this point. Well, Leifson still down on the ground. We'll take a quick timeout here as Rebels lead 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. And we have 7 minutes, 18 seconds left to go. You're listening to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watch online at KADQradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3. Leifson now up. He's helped up, and then he walks off on his own. And he was kind of favoring that left leg when he initially just popped right up after the tackle and then dropped back down, not putting any pressure on the left leg. Now he's over here on the sideline walking around with his helmet off. As the Rebels were called for a hold on that play. And they'll repeat first down, but it'll be 1st and 20 back at their own 40. So a 1st and long for the Rebels. Argyle wide to the far side. And again, a new quarterback in there for the Rebels is Coy Brown. Brown up under center, takes the snap, steps back, looking to throw, steps up, throws deep down the sideline. He's got Walentine who can't make the catch. He looked away at the defense at the last second and dropped the pass down at the 20. A nice throw by Brown. That was in the air for 10, 20, 30, 40 yards. But Walentine just looked away and didn't reel in that catch. The defense was closing in on him. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 20 for the Rebels. Brown will bring his team up to the line. One man in the backfield is Clark. Brown takes the snap, rolling out to his left, looking to throw, throws downfield, and overthrows Argyle toward the sideline. Had to get rid of it with the defense pressure coming in on him. And the Rebels will stop the clock again at 6:52 after that incompletion. Leading 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. And again, 6:52 left to go in the ball game. Rebels have this one in hand, 28-6 with the lead in their defense. They've given up really just one big play, and other than that, the Tigers have been unsuccessful and inconsistent on offense. They've been unable to do much of anything. But a 3rd and 20 here for the Rebels. Brown up under center, takes the snap, steps back, again looking to throw, fakes, now throws over the middle, and he's hit as he throws, just leads Walentine a bit too far, and a big hit by number 64 of the Tigers, Coulter Wright. And the pass falls incomplete, so 3 straight incompletions for the Rebels, and it'll bring up a 4th and 20. And I'd expect them to punt here with 6:47 left in the ball game. From their own 40-yard line, it's 4th down and 20. And yeah, Walentine back at his own 30 to attempt this punt. Rebels moving in some personnel in and out. Now they get it figured out, and they're set. Here's the snap. It's good. Walentine gets off a nice high punt. Good air underneath that. It takes one bounce toward just kind of a lateral bounce toward the line, or toward down the line, and it's picked up by the Rebels by Riker Rex at about the 22-yard line. So a nice punt for Walentine, and the Tigers will have it from their own 22, 1st and 10. 6 minutes, 40 seconds left on the Untitled scoreboard, and the Rebels lead 28-6. Leifson over here, I see him just right down in front of us, in front of this press box, and he's kind of walking around, favoring that left leg just a little bit. Got his helmet off, and now we have an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Rebels, which will give the Tigers a little bit better field position. That's 15 yards to the 37. And the Tigers now will line up. Rebels with some confusion here on who's supposed to be in the game right now and who's not. Hardy takes the snap, looking for a quick throw. Now throws over the middle, tipped and intercepted by the Rebels. It was tipped right into the hands of Rudy Barker, and that's an early Christmas gift for him. He was just playing free safety out there and coming up toward the play. It's tipped right into his hands, and he holds on to it for the INT. And that's, I believe, the first interception and the first turnover of the game for the Tigers. They've had a couple of turnover on downs, but that turnover is brought to you by the station in Randolph, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Rebels. First down for Rich High, and that'll be from they'll be in Tiger territory at the 48-yard line. Now, on the play, we also have a Tiger down right about where that football was intercepted. He's on that far sideline, and I'm not even sure who it is. I can't see a number. We'll take a quick timeout. Rebels lead 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. 6:33 left to go in the ball game. We'll take a quick one and be back. You're listening to a BIGO Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and you can watch online at KADQradio.com.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. Expanding inventory and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Coulter Wright, the injured player for the Tigers, but he is up and over on the sideline now walking around, and hope maybe it was just the wind knocked out of him or something not serious. Rebels line up 1st and 10 after the interception. The turnover brought to you by the station in Randolph. They have it 1st and 10 on the Tiger 48. Brown takes the snap, give up the middle, and a good hole for Clark. He'll pick up 10, 11, about 11 or 12 yards down inside the 40. A good hole right up the middle. And you see Clark out there patting the helmets of his offensive linemen. He knows they did the hard work on that play for him to pick up 11 yards and a first down. First down brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental and Dr. Sean Grohl. Rebels move the chains and have it now at the Tiger 30, just outside the 37-yard line. 6 minutes, 10 seconds left to go in the ball game. 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels lead. And Brown up under center with 2 in the backfield. Here's the snap. Fakes. No, he does give to Clark going off the left side. He'll be wrapped up real quick and brought down. And actually, at the end of the play, the Tiger, Lucas O'Daniel, comes up with the football. And now Clark is down on the ground. And just a lot of injuries here today. These two teams playing real physical. And Clark real slow to get up. He went down a bit funny as O'Daniel wrapped him up high and brought him down. 5 minutes, 52 seconds left to go in the ball game. It's 28-6. Rebels with the lead on the Untitled scoreboard. And the story of this one has been the Rebels. They've moved the ball offensively. They've been real successful offensively, but they've also turned it over. 3 turnovers, one of them on a punt return, 2 interceptions in the ball game on consecutive passes, different possessions obviously, but 5 turnovers for Rich High. On the other side, though, their defense has forced 2 turnovers on downs, and they just came up with an interception moments ago. And they really, other than about 3 or 4 plays, the stat line for the Tigers looks like this: 2, -7, a run for -4, a run for 2, a run for -3, and those kind of plays. They haven't been able to put anything consecutive together. And now Rebels number 33, Kyler Clark, is helped up off the field by a couple of coaches, and he's not putting any weight or pressure on that right leg. We're going to help him over here to this bench on this near side, and he'll likely be done for the afternoon as well. 5:52 left in the ball game. Rebels lead 28-6 on the Untitled scoreboard.
Second down.
It'll be 2nd down and 10 after no gain on that last play by Clark. Rebels will come up to the line of scrimmage. Again, moving north to south. That's left to right from our view if you're watching at KADQ online, KADQradio.com. Here's the snap, give to the deep back, and shifting his way forward for a few is Riker Rex. He picks up a couple, and actually maybe a little bit more than that, down close to the 35-yard line for a gain. Yeah, it is just going to be 2 yards.
Gain of a couple on the play.
For, again, that's Riker Rex, number 7, just checked in. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 8. Dakota Clark has now moved to number 23 and checks into the game. And he'll line up as the fullback with Cash Saby behind him on a 3rd and 8. Here's the give to Clark, right side. He's got a big hole and a lot of room. Cuts it back inside to the 10-5. Touchdown, Clark. Wearing number 23, rips it off for 36 yards and a touchdown. And the Rebels put another one on the scoreboard to make it 34-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Scanning the field, I don't see any flags, and the touchdown should stand. And Clark, boy, you love to see his work on the offensive line. He's a great blocker, but you see runs like that, and you wish he was back in the backfield again with running the football. Clark with that big touchdown run of 37 yards, and the Rebels extend the lead to 34-6, and now they'll line up to go for 2 here. Clark and Saby in the backfield with Brown up under center. 2 out here wide to this near side is Bart and Wallentine. Brown steps back, throws into the middle, caught by Wallentine. He's hit, or by Bartolome as he's hit as he makes the catch, but he holds on to it, and the 2-point conversion is good. And the Rebels lead 36-6 on the Untitled scoreboard with 4:38 left to go. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on KADQ FM 98.3, and online you can watch at KADQradio.com. 4 minutes, 38 seconds left to go, and the Rebels lead 36-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. A 37-yard touchdown run by Dakota Clark, and then a 2-point conversion, the pass from Brown to Bart, and the Rebels extend the lead up by 30 points, so a 4-touchdown lead. And now a kickoff for the Rebels. It's a low line drive, almost like a squib kick, fielded by the Tigers right up the middle, a little bit of a wedge up the middle for Carter Hardy. He finds a little bit of room out close to the 35-yard line before he's wrapped up and pushed back. But forward progress will take him to about the 35, where the Tigers will start 1st and 10 with 4 minutes and 30 seconds left in the ball game. And the Rebels ahead by 4 touchdowns. Just looking to run out the clock here and put this one in the books. Rich High going to pick up a victory here and get a little bit of varsity time for some JV kids. Hardy comes out with Neto behind him and Noyes. They've shifted those 2 players. Noyes lining up out wide to the far side. Here's the snap, the give to Neto, and not a lot of room to run. Gets back to the line of scrimmage before he's wrapped up and brought down about the 36. A short gain of 2.
A couple of yards, 2nd and 8.
Bring up a 2nd down and 8 after that 2-yard gain by Neto. 36-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels with the lead. 4 minutes left to go in the ball game. And the Tigers with a 2nd down and 8 from their own 37-yard line. Two receivers out here to the near side. Noyes in the backfield and Neto out wide to the far side. Hardy with the pistol formation, and now a flag flies in from this backside official, which usually means a delay of game, and that is what we have. delay of game against the Tigers. That's their 8th penalty of the day. And they'll march him back 5 yards. 45 yards in penalties against the Tigers. Here's the snap. Hardy back looking to throw. Pressure coming. He throws over the middle and incomplete. He overthrows his intended receiver, Trevor Robinson. And Cornea in there defending on the play.
Trevor Robinson.
And a good defensive timing there by Cornea. Rames Cornea, the junior. So the pass incomplete for Hardy, and that brings up a 3rd down and long. 3rd down and about 13 for the Tigers. Again, the Rebels lead 36-6 on the Untitled scoreboard. 3:35 left to go in the ball game, and a few injuries today. Ben Grohl separated his shoulder. Leifson, who is walking around down there and seems to be okay. And a couple on the Tiger side of the ball as well. Timeout on the field. Coach Brian Williamson wants to take a quick timeout and talk about it. With 3:34 left in the ball game, 36-6, Rebels lead on the Untitled scoreboard. And are we caught up? So we'll keep it right here at the field. And if you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you see the shadows starting to get longer coming in from the west side. It's been a beautiful afternoon. It got a bit breezy, but boy, it sure has been nice and warm and sunny. And Rebels have taken care of business for the most part. They've, despite 5 turnovers in this ball game, they've still been able to score 36 points, and that kind of tells you what kind of a matchup this is, I think, between the Rich Rebels and the Milford Tigers. And Rich has won this matchup every year since, 1994 was the last time that Milford beat Rich, 18-7. And Rich is going to extend that winning streak to another one. Trips out to the far side for the Tigers on 3rd and 13. Hardy takes the snap. Quick throw out there and bobbled, but then caught. Breaking the tackle is Neto. He breaks another one, and he's going to go. At the 50, the 40, nobody's going to catch him. 3 broken tackles, and Neto will score from his own 32-yard line. The quick screen out there to the wide receiver, and it's a 68-yard touchdown run. Well, it's a pass. It goes in the books as a touchdown pass for Jalen Hardy. But really, it was Neto running 68 yards with it for the touchdown.
So Neto takes it 68 yards.
That'll make it 36-12 on the Untitled scoreboard. With 3:21 left in the ball game, the Tigers will line up to go for 2. Hardy with Robinson behind him in that pistol formation. Here's the snap and a quick option, but Hardy nowhere to go. He's just scrambling away from the defense and run out of bounds. The Rebel defense steps up and makes the play. Out there was Hunter Trenery to knock Hardy out of bounds, and the 2-point conversion attempt fails. It's 36-12 on the Untitled scoreboard with 3:21 left to go. Rebels with the lead, but a couple of breakdowns. That 68-yard touchdown was just missed tackles is what that was about. They had him wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, but Neto able to break that tackle and get away, and broke one more tackle, and then it was off to the races, and nobody was going to catch him. We've had touchdown passes of 90 and 68 for the Milford Tigers, and both of them have been short passes from Hardy. And in the first one was to Nathan Barnes coming across the middle, a real short pass, and Barnes went about 88 yards. The pass went about 2 yards through the air, and then Barnes did the rest of it in a 90-yard touchdown pass or catch. And then that one of 68 yards, about the same story. Hardy threw it out to the flat, to the quick wide receiver screen for Wade Neto, and Neto did most of the work, breaking tackles and scoring the 68-yard touchdown.
Deep for the Rebels.
Well, Rebels kickoff coming up here. Kickoff brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. And now a whistle, and the Tigers lining up for the onside kick. Rebels fall on it. No, it squirts loose, and the Tigers are on top of it, I think. Milford pointing that it's their football, and the official rushes in and confirms that. at the 46-yard line. Rebels had it in their hands, but it squirted free, and the Tigers take over after the onside kick. So the Tigers not giving up with 3:19 left to go. And, boy, the way their offense has worked, a big play is what they've scored on both times. We'll see if they can do that again. Well, the Rebel defense really needs to step up here and just hold on to this one. Hardy comes out with, again, that same formation we saw in that last play when they scored a touchdown. This time Neto's behind him, though. The snap, quick pitch out to Neto. Not much room to run. The ball pops free right back into Neto's hands. It popped up and then dropped right back into his hands, and then he'll be brought down, wrapped up and brought down by the Rebels. Wyatt Downing in there on the tackle. And also Winston Ames. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, that's a loss of 3. Back to the 49-yard line, and you'll see that ball just pop up and then drop back down. And it'll be 2nd down and 13. Under 3 minutes to go, 2:40 to be exact. Left on the clock, and the Rebels leading 36-12 on the Untitled scoreboard. Here's the snap. Hardy takes it, gives it to Noyes, and he'll be wrapped up, stacked up, and pushed and driven back. Boy, that's the definition of gang tackling right there. An initial stand by Chalice Myers, and then 3 or 4 other Rebels just come in and make that gang tackle. Noyes picks up 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 11 for the Tigers. Hardy comes up. He's right on midfield, right at the 50-yard line. Takes the snap. Quick throw out to this near side. It's caught by Barnes, and he'll be wrapped up and hit hard, sandwiched between 2 Rebel defenders, Myers and Porter Argyle in on the stop. Barnes picks up about 5, and that'll bring it up to a 4th down and 5 from the 41. And there's no doubt the Tigers are going to go for it here. Rebels leading 36-12 on the Untitled scoreboard. We're down to 1:20 left to go as the Tigers come up to the line of scrimmage. Hardy in the backfield, 3 backs behind him. He gets the handoff to Noyes, and he's going to be stuffed by that Rebel defense once again. He had 2 big carries to start the game, but since then Noyes has been shut down. Myers in there. Also in there was Riley Smith and a few other Rebels right in there on the line. Makes it 1st down. It should be a turnover on downs and give it to the Rebels. As it was just shy. It was about a 4-yard gain for Noyes, which was not enough for the 1st down. And so it's a turnover on downs. And now the Rebels can just run out the clock from their own 39. 1 minute, 11 seconds left in the ball game. And Brown will take the snap and take a knee and just let the clock run out. A minute left to go in the ball game. 36-12 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels with the lead. And we'll have Brown take another knee or 2 and run this clock out and put this one in the books. Rebels line up. And they're just going to wait until that last minute, run down as much of the clock as they can. Rebels with 5 turnovers here today, 3 fumbles, 2 interceptions, but despite that, still a real solid victory. 36-12 on the Untitled scoreboard with 30 seconds left to go. Coy Brown will take another knee, and with 25 seconds left on the clock, that's going to be the ball game. Rebels will come off. If you're watching online at kadqradio.com, you see them coming off to this near side of the field. And the Rebels will get this one in the books and beat the Milford Tigers once again. 36-12 on the Untitled scoreboard is our final score as we get to the final play and the end of the game. You've been listening to Rich Eye Rebel Football here on KADQ-FM. And again, the Rebels get the win on the Untitled scoreboard. 36-12, our final score. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with our post-game show, including a visit with Coach with Coach Ashley Brown. Also, a quick game recap. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at KADQRadio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
BIGO Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at BIGO.
BIGO Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Bad credit? No credit? No problem. See Castle Rock Chevrolet for the marginal credit sale this weekend. At Castle Rock, we understand how essential owning a vehicle you can count on really is. So we don't care what your credit score is. Come into Castle Rock Chevrolet this weekend and we'll do everything we can to help you into the vehicle that you want and need.
We're Castle Rock.
Bad credit? No credit. No problem. Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston.
Welcome to the post-game show here on a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football on KADQ FM 98.3. And again, these games online at KADQRadio.com. You can watch them. If you're watching online now, you see the Rebel players, cheerleaders, and some students out there doing the jumping jacks for the Rebels as they pick up a win to open region play and to make it to 1-0 in the region, 3-1 overall. And this 36-12 victory on the Untitled scoreboard over the Milford Tigers here this afternoon at Rich High School. A good game for the Rebels if you discount those 5 turnovers. They moved the ball well. They had a lot of rushing yards, everybody really, and it wasn't, they didn't even attempt that many rushes. It was big gains every time they carried the ball. Chalice Myers, 7 carries, 86 yards. Cash Sabies, 7 carries, 88 yards, 3 touchdowns on the day. Joseph Leifson, 5 carries, 50 yards. That's a 10-yard average. McKay Jarman, same story, 5 carries, 52 yards. The problem was the 5 turnovers. But fortunately for the Rebels, they outmatched the Tigers by such a margin that despite 5 turnovers, they still won 36-12 on the Untitled scoreboard. And again, any stats I give you unofficial, but they're pretty close as I keep them myself as the game goes on. And the Rebels, a good solid victory here today. And from a coaching standpoint, I'm sure Coach Brown will say, well, we'd like to eliminate some of those turnovers, but a win is a win, and we're happy with that, especially when it comes to region play. As for the Milford Tigers, they got some good production out of Caden Noyes, especially in that first half. He had 10 carries, 78 yards. He was really shut down in the second half, and frankly, most of those 78 yards came on 3 carries for 71 yards. He had 7 other carries that netted just 7 yards. But they also had some success through the air, and really it was short passes that turned into big plays. A 90-yard touchdown in the first half, a 68-yard touchdown in the second half. But both of those were real short passes that on the first one, it was Nathan Barnes who took it 90 yards. On the second one, it was Wade Netto who took it 68 yards there toward the end of the fourth quarter. But not nearly enough for the Tigers. Again, our final 36-12 on the Untitled scoreboard. Rebels get the victory. Well, coming up, we'll have the Rebel Sports Update. We'll also have Coach Ashley Brown joining us here for a post-game interview. And that's all coming up here on our post-game show. You're listening to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel Football on KADQ 98.3 FM and online at KADQRadio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth and want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is oral surgeon A.J. Stosich inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Long lines and slow traffic. Gas prices on the rise? Save yourself a trip to the big city by stopping first at Cowboy Motor Company. You no longer have to get out of Dodge to find the best deals on vehicles. Cowboy Motor Company has them in stock. expanding inventory, and plenty of money available for lending, you can now get into Dodge at Cowboy Motor Company. Strength, honesty, and integrity. The Cowboy Way. Cowboy Motor Company, 100 Wasatch Road in Evanston.
Welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich Rebel football here on KADQ FM 98.3. Coming up soon, we'll have our Rebel Sports Update. We'll be visiting with Rich Rodeo Club President Todd Cornea. But first, joining us now on our postgame is Coach Ashley Brown of the Rich Rebels. And Coach, a solid victory. You guys, it seemed like you really outmatched these guys, and should have been more if not for those 5 turnovers.
Right, that was the key. You know, we'd move the ball really well and then turnover. And you know, when you play a good team, you can't do that or you're in trouble.
What do you work on to try and eliminate some of those turnovers?
Well, I think a lot of it was their mindset coming in. You know, they thought this game was going to be easy, and they were probably looking forward to Monticello next week, and it showed. We didn't play real well.
And probably it didn't help that they thought it was going to be easy. They come out, that first drive was too easy. It looked like 6 plays, 65 yards, and not a lot of hard work went into that. And did they relax after that?
Oh yeah, you know, that like you say, that was way easy for them, and then they thought that was going to be what it was like the rest of the game. And Milford dug in and played hard, and so we give them credit for that.
This Milford team, I think, they've got some experience. They're young even this year, but next year they might be a team to reckon with.
Yeah, I think they got 2 seniors, and he's slowly building the program that he wants, and they're definitely a lot better this year than they were last, and they'll be better next year.
What else do you think your team did well today? I mean, you got to win 36-12 on the Untitled scoreboard, so you got to be happy about that.
We're happy with the win, but we're not happy with very many aspects of the game. We didn't block real well. We didn't throw the ball well again. So there are lots of things that we got to get fixed by next week, or we'll be in trouble.
And I don't know what your philosophy or policy is on injuries. Can you tell us anything about Ben Grohl? And I know Joseph Layson came off late in the game as well.
I think Ben's got a separated shoulder, and Joseph just got a deep thigh bruise. So
okay.
Ben will have to deal with this the rest of the season probably. Joseph should be good to go next week.
Speaking of next week, you mentioned it's Monticello, and that's another big one. Are they one of the better teams in the region?
Yeah, they are. They got some of the best skilled kids out of anyone, and we'll have to play well to beat them. So, and it's our homecoming, and I'm not sure that's always a good thing or not, but that's what it is. So we'll get ready for Monticello.
Looking ahead to that, what do you need to do this coming week to get ready for Monticello?
We got to block better. As a team, we always seem to have one guy that doesn't make the correct block, and we got to get that fixed this week. And then we got to throw the ball. We got to be able to throw the ball a little.
Yeah. Well, Coach, congratulations on the win, and good luck this week trying to fix a few things, and for homecoming next week against Monticello.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for joining me. That was Coach Ashley Brown on the postgame coaches show here on KADQ. And coming up, we'll have our Rebel Sports Update right after this. You're listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ FM 98.3, and watch the game online at KADQradio.com.
It's time for the pre-winter checkup special.
Big O Tires, we go the extra mile, revving up the service to make you smile. We're in the business of customer pleasing, all the right service for all the right reasons.
Receive an oil change, 22-point inspection, brake check, and tire rotation for just $59.99.
Extra miles, the way we go, we got you covered at Big O.
Big O Tires in Evanston, 607 Cheyenne Drive.
Bad credit? No credit? No problem. See Castle Rock Chevrolet for the marginal credit sale this weekend. At Castle Rock, we understand how essential owning a vehicle you can count on really is. So we don't care what your credit score is. Come into Castle Rock Chevrolet this weekend, and we'll do everything we can to help you into the vehicle that you want and need.
We're Castle Rock.
Bad credit? No credit. No problem. Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston.
Well, welcome back to a Big O Tire of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel Sports, Rich High Rebel Football on KADQ FM and 98.3 FM and online at KADQradio.com. And coming up right now, we'll have our Rebel Sports Update. Welcome back to a BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and you can watch the game online at kadqradio.com. Welcome now to the Rebel Sports Update. This afternoon we visit with Rich Rodeo Club President Todd Cornea on the Rebel Sports Update. I'm here with Rich Rodeo Club President Todd Cornea, and Todd, thanks for joining me today.
You bet. Glad to be here and give some feedback on the rodeo team that we have here in our little community.
How did you get involved with coaching or being the president of the Rich Rodeo Club, Todd?
Rodeo's been in my family forever. I've grown up, my dad rodeoed, me and my brothers have rodeoed. I've got kids that's rodeoed. It's just born and bred into us and into this community. Evanston and Rich County, all over. Ranch and community and rodeo go hand in hand.
Well, it sounds like it's in your blood.
Yes, it is.
So tell me, how is the season going so far? You have a bigger team this year than you have in the past year or two?
Yes, we do, and we've got a young team, and each week they're doing better and better. I expect them to be competitors come springtime. Like I say, every week is getting better and better. We had a freshman that her first rodeo, she was just a second and a half out of qualifying in the pole bending, and so she done really good. Our rough stock rider, the second day, he had it all but one. He done really well. The team's improving week by week. I'm tickled with them and how they are doing, and practicing on their own, they're doing very well.
So can you tell us a little more detail about how things went this last weekend down in Cedar City?
It was kind of some rough weather. We got a downpour, which affects everything. You and your animals got to, perform at its best. And, if one little bobble here or there can cost you from being first to 20th, and so we had a good weekend, but not a great weekend. We will improve for this next weekend in Salina.
So what do you expect, or you've been to Salina for the rodeos in the past, I imagine? What does that look like for this weekend?
It's looking good. Most all the kids are going there, and so I expect to have some kids that qualify for state there, even some first place there. So we're looking forward to it, and it's exciting and great. It'll be a good rodeo. It'll be a good weekend.
Now, after this week, you have about a month off before you get back into it in November. Why the month off in October?
They have the month off. Other kids that are in other sports, football, volleyball, track, cross country, whatever they're in. It's kind of their really busy time right there in October, pushing for the playoffs and everything. And so the kids don't always have a chance to be able to do both, plus the hunting season. And so they've had it in October before, but the number of the kids competing in rodeo dropped down because of other sports, hunting, things like that.
All right. Well, Todd, thanks for joining me today. Anything else you want to share about the Rich Rodeo Club?
Yes, we are having a fundraiser. We are getting fresh Idaho potatoes, reds, russets, and Yukon Golds. They can contact me or a club member, and we are selling them for $20 a bag. And it just goes for the Rich Rodeo Club to help the club put on the rodeo and make it through, because all the kids are on their own. And so we do have that going on. So if anybody's interested in a 50-pound sack of potatoes, they can contact, like I say, me, Tara, or any of the contestants in our team.
And can we give out your cell phone, Todd, just in case people don't have it or don't know how to contact you?
The best number to reach would be area code 435-793-4108, and that is our house phone. Or any kids that are interested in rodeo, feel free to call me. I'd be more than willing to help and talk to them, and, hopefully they want to join.
All right, thanks, Todd. Well, good luck this weekend at Salina.
Okay, thank you very much.
This has been the Rebel Sports Update with Rich Rodeo Club President Todd Cornea. Coming up next on the post-game show, we'll take a look ahead at what's in store for our Rebels. So stay tuned for more of this BIGO Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM, and watch the game online at kadqradio.com.
Precious time cannot be recovered once lost, said the famous Jack Sparrow. Don't lose time driving extra miles when the dental services you need are available right here in Evanston. Do you need a root canal? Do you need your wisdom teeth pulled? Are you missing teeth or want a full and perfect smile? Do you need braces? All of these services are available from our specialists right here in Evanston. This is endodontist Les Walker inviting you to join me and my associates. Call today to schedule an appointment at 307-789-5608. That's 307-789-5608. Save your precious time.
Bad credit? No credit? No problem. See Castle Rock Chevrolet for the marginal credit sale this weekend. At Castle Rock, we understand how essential owning a vehicle you can count on really is. So we don't care what your credit score is. Come into Castle Rock Chevrolet this weekend, and we'll do everything we can to help you into the vehicle that you want and need.
We're Castle Rock.
Bad credit? No credit. No problem. Castle Rock Chevrolet in Evanston.
Well, this has been the Rebel Sports Update here on the post-game show, and now we're going to take a look at what's coming up ahead, what's ahead for the Rebel Sports in the next few days and in the coming week. And coming up next for Rich High football is, as Coach Brown mentioned earlier in our post-game, was Monticello. That's next Friday, and that's another big one for the Rebels. And that'll be next Friday at 4 p.m., and we'll have the game for you right here on KADQ and online at kadqradio.com. The Rebel pregame show will start at 3:20. Kickoff is at 4 p.m. Our next broadcast here on KADQ 98.3 FM will be tomorrow night as the Rich High School Lady Rebel volleyball team hosts Lyman. Tune in for the pregame at 5:30, and the first service scheduled for 6 o'clock tomorrow night here from Rich High School, and we'll have it here on KADQ, and you can watch it online at kadqradio.com. Now, the Rich Rebel freshman volleyball team is also in action tomorrow. They'll be at a tournament, the freshman tournament at Evanston, and then next Friday, the Lady Rebel volleyball team will host Tabiona, and that'll be another big region match for the Lady Rebels, so make sure to tune in for that one. And we're going to try it next week, next Friday. We're going to bring you the football game, and then we'll hustle over and bring you as much of the volleyball match as we can as well. So it's football with the pregame at 3:20, kickoff at 4 p.m. next Friday, and then we'll get over to do the volleyball just as quick as we can with the first serve scheduled for 7 p.m. next Friday. Now, also next Friday, the Evanston the freshman team will be here to take on the Lady Rebels, and that'll be at 4:45 p.m. just before the JV and varsity matches. Saturday, the freshman volleyball team will be at Lyman, and that'll take us through next weekend. Now, also next week for the football team on Thursday, the sophomores will play host to Star Valley, and that's all part of the homecoming activities coming up next week for the Rich High Rebels, and all kinds of activities coming up next week as part of homecoming for Rich High School. Now, also this weekend, the Rich Rodeo Club is down at Salina. They're at a rodeo today, was hosted by Cow Country in Salina, and the rodeo tomorrow hosted by Sevier. Then the Rodeo Club takes about a month and a half, almost 2 months off before the St. George 6, which begins November 15th and 16th, and then they have 6 rodeos in 3 consecutive weekends down there in St. George, and that's what's coming up for the Rich Rodeo Club. Then, of course, next week, homecoming for Rich High School, so all kinds of activities, and that's all next week at Rich High School. Again, our next broadcast here on KADQ will be football next Friday afternoon as the Rebels host Monticello, and then we'll have volleyball right after that, the Lady Rebels hosting Tabiona. Final score here today, this afternoon, Rich High Rebels beat the Milford Tigers 36-12 on the Untitled scoreboard. This has been the Rebel Postgame Show and sports production and sports broadcast of Old West Media Incorporated and Cook Brothers Broadcasting. No portion of this production can be used or rebroadcast without express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Once again, our final score on today's Untitled scoreboard is 36-12. The Rebels get the victory. Join us next Friday afternoon as we bring you to Rebel football and volleyball. Rebels football team hosting Monticello, and then the volleyball directly after that hosting Tabiona. Join us for our pregame for the football at 3:20, kickoff at 4 o'clock. Until then, go Rebels.
You've been listening to a Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and watching online at KADQradio.com. Today's game has been brought to you by these Rebel supporting businesses and individuals. Cowboy Motor Company, save a horse, buy from Cowboy. Big O Tires, the team you trust. Castle Rock Chevrolet, we are Chevrolet. Wyoming Dental Specialists, Rocky Mountain Care, simply the best care. Today's pregame coaches show was brought to you by Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. Kickoffs today were brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. First downs brought to you by Comprehensive Family Dental, Dr. Sean Grohl. Turnover sponsor today was the station in Randolph, and today's scoreboard sponsor, You Win a Title. Thank you for listening to this Big O Tires of Evanston presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ 98.3 FM and online at KADQradio.com.